I'm 50-50. I kind of want to finish where we, or I want to pick up where we left off yesterday and finish this podcast. We're like, we have an hour. You got crazy eyes in this? Dude, I forgot that. So sometimes when I have shit I have to do, I end stream and I just leave my computer as is. Like I'll close OBS and then I'll just leave everything else. And yesterday I didn't have any time to sit on my computer at all. So I literally woke up this morning, came to sit at my computer, and this is what was staring back at me. I was like, oh, another great day to stream. Oh. It's terrifying. I'm so sorry. I felt like that one, you know, the coincidences guy. There's no such thing as coincidence. This guy. Hold up. You guys have seen this, okay, right? Ones of you guys have seen this. Two of you have not seen this. I have to know how many people I'm about to, how many people's lives I'm about to enrich. Oh my God, there's at least a few people who've never seen it. Excellent.
There is no such thing as a coincidence. The fact that you're watching this video means you are energetically aligned with me and this message. Your thoughts create your reality. But you already knew that, yet you still live a life that you dread.
Excuse me.
That is because when you visualize your dream life, you unconsciously believe that it is unreal.
Straight up, that was me this morning. The lady screaming, that was me this morning. Go to turn on my stream. Ah! All right. Okay. Let's try. And if I can't take it anymore, we'll switch to the, what is it called? Hassan's reaction in response to it.
You know what I'm more interested in than sewing out that he's seen an episode of One Piece? The fact that he...
Also, yeah, somebody else has also said something saying, sorry, that didn't make any sense. Even his own fan base is telling him to get help. It's really bad at this point. I mean, here are the responses to the to this live stream before he turned off the comment section. It's so small. There we go. It's very brave for Ethan to come out as the primary victim of this genocide. To no chat, no pushback, and no opposition. Someone on the crew needs to have an intervention with Ethan. He's stuck in a self-confirming feedback loop. And this is like one of their subs. This is someone, I'm pretty sure the little icon means they give money to the show. Like, I think YouTube calls it like members. The main problem that stands out to me is that Ethan chooses to talk about this on the podcast. Yeah, he talked about his opinions on Israeli government, but when he was asked, instead of choosing to talk about the plight of Palestinians, he chooses to talk about anti-Semitism. He never brings up atrocities against Palestinians when they happen, and if he does, it's, yes, this shouldn't have happened, but... To be honest, I couldn't work for a guy that talks about mean comments he gets on the internet for hours. But then when the conflict has gotten to a point where even AB and Lena have family that needs to be evacuated from Lebanon, he doesn't even talk about it for 1 second. That's the criticism against Ethan from his own community. It feels like at this point, he just wants the attention instead of giving it to the conflict. There's literally a comment from an H3 podcast lore channel too. Jesus. We needed to hear more from AB and less from Ethan. He was waiting to talk, and he got completely disregarded when making the point about what Hassan meant. Ethan heard what he wanted to hear. I don't even know how he heard anti-Semitism isn't real from what Hassan said. And you can tell this isn't even a Hassan fan because he's spelling his name with 2 S's. Hassan. Like, these are not even brigades. Like, this is straight up H3 fan. First time I heard it, and it was very clear what Hassan meant. He's just being dense on purpose. I hate how Ethan is centering himself when there's a literal genocide.
From the Vape Nation video, I was a member, YouTube sub. since the feature was first added. I left last year after his discussion with Hassan, and I'd never looked back. I could see where it was going.
Yeah. Who's AB, one of the cast members of the H3 podcast? I think he's one of the producers, I believe. Helps out with the show and stuff. There's like a 1 or 2 times where the camera pans to him. And as the comment suggested, they're people whose family has actually been meaningfully impacted by this conflict. To talk about how your life is so hard because people are mean to you on the internet. First of all, if you exist online as a creator, people are going to be mean to you online. Even if you are the most non-controversial person, people will be mean to you online. It's just the rule of the internet, okay? For you to say stupid shit and then people be mean to you online, and then you make it all about you, meanwhile, people's families have to get evacuated due to this crisis. It's crazy. Ethan only even let him talk so he could have a chance to remind the audience he and AB are still friends. Jesus. But it's, yeah, I mean, like, this is we're at 121. Trying to find it. He cuts over. I guess I can't. I don't want to like lose the. Oh, okay. Let me see. Maybe we can find it. For people who missed it yesterday, I figure. I don't know the point where it. Oh, here we go. This is good. This is a good timestamp. Here's the clip.
About, what's going on. He actually chastised me. For what? Let's see.
Ethan is very frustrated and very emotional in this moment, but doesn't recognize that, like, perhaps a Lebanese woman who's a hijabi in the United States of America could also be very emotional in this exact same moment. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so... And the reality of the matter is anti-Semitism is an unacceptable form of bigotry, whereas Islamophobia is a very acceptable form of bigotry. So being the bigger person...
Which, like, anyone with 2 brain cells should be able to hear that and say, oh, what Hassan is talking about is the fact that mainstream media isn't allowed to engage in blatant anti-Semitism. In fact, when people like Marjorie Taylor Greene talk about Jewish space lasers, they actively decry it as wrong and bad, as they should. However, Islamophobia is totally acceptable. Totally acceptable. The number of pundits since 9/11 that have come on to CNN or MSNBC or Fox News and said, we need to bomb the shit out of X Middle Eastern country. Fucking level it. I don't care. We need to kill these fucking terrorists. It's everywhere and no one calls it out because it's acceptable, right? At no point is Hassan saying anti-Semitism is fake and it's not happening. At no point is he saying anti-Semitism isn't as important as Islamophobia. He's saying anti-Semitism is real. It happens. When it happens, mainstream media isn't allowed to pretend like it's not happening, or they're not allowed to encourage it. Islamophobia, on the other hand, you are totally allowed to, I mean, yeah, don't mess with the Zohan. The fact that that was I have no words. I have no words. Listen to how he reads it. Listen to fucking how Ethan Klein reads it.
Person in this situation, regardless of your feelings.
So anyway, and God forbid you actually read the chat. But what I'm hearing, frankly, is that anti-Semitism is not really an issue. And so you shouldn't, your complaints are less equal than Frogan's complaints because Islamophobia is more serious than anti-Semitism. Despite, by the way, the fact that, as I pointed out, in reality...
What I'm hearing is something he didn't say.
Or not the opposite, because there is Islamophobia, but like this claim that anti-Semitism doesn't exist because everybody knows it wrong, as I perceiving it, is absolutely false. I've never seen more open anti-Semitism in my life, my whole life. the way that it's being normalized by the left and the right, and it's being kind of, you know, in a case like this.
Which, like, if you're Ethan Klein and you're struggling to, like, I don't know, I guess, like, drink water and breathe, I assume his life is really hard. If you can come to that conclusion, you must be, like, operating with less than one brain cell somehow. How are you? How do you come to the conclusion? Sorry, the entire clip is just crazy to me. It's so insane to me. But I guess when you have one brain cell, and anytime somebody says Zionism and all you hear is Jewish people, I guess there is a lot of anti-Semitism on the left. If you genuinely think Zionism equals Jewish or Judaism.
He's normalizing it. He's normalizing it. He's greenlighting it. Again, FBI stats. Jews are number 2. 2% of the population, 15% of all hate crimes.
Have you seen the deleted Reddit
Okay.
post?
Uh-oh. No.
This is all I'm here. This is what I hear.
What's crazy about
this to me is
that,
it's
like,
disgusting. Frankly, it's disgusting. It's a disgusting thing to say in the face of rising anti-Semitism, which once again apparently has nothing to do with Zionism.
Ethan is
So why is it, you know, that like when Stop Asian Hate, that movement happened, when, you know, these terrible hate crimes were happening to Asian people during COVID, of like random acts of violence in New York City and elsewhere, the people like Hassan, excuse me, and left rallied behind them. Nobody said, well, you know, there is a chance China let it out of a lab. So, you know, maybe the problem is that you need to get a hold of China. You know, maybe you wouldn't be getting punched in the face if China wasn't locking down its country and whatever. That's what I hear from people like Hassan.
Can I just say real quick, there's a few things I want to say, but I want you to finish.
So after the most insane takeaway from a very normal clip, by the way. This is AB having the audacity to want to say something about the conflict.
And I know you have a lot to get through, so I'd rather say it at the end, but there are a couple things
Okay.
I'd like to say in response.
Okay.
I'm very emotional in this moment, but doesn't recognize that, like, perhaps a Lebanese woman who's a hijabi in the United States of America could also be very emotional in this exact same moment. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so... And
once again, comparing actions, I quietly unfollowed her to avoid any problems. She was posting what I perceived as
So stupid.
sympathetic posts, encouraging and glorifying Hamas violence against Israelis. You want to see it? I unfollowed her. She started making a huge scene, and including going into Hassan's community as a moderator and saying, I hate Arabs. The actions are not equal, not even close.
the reality of the matter is anti-Semitism...
Which is not what happened, by the way. Anyways, yeah. Won't even allow, like, AB to really speak on the clip because he needs to believe, he being Ethan Klein, needs to believe that Hassan is being anti-Semitic and is saying anti-Semitism isn't real.
Is an unacceptable form of bigotry, whereas Islamophobia is a very acceptable form of bigotry. So
again, her problem with Islamophobia is worth listening to. It's very real, and we have to listen to her. And frankly, she can't really do anything wrong. It seems like no matter what, because she's emotional, or you know, she's a woman who's wearing a hijabi. He said, I don't know how to say it. Hijabi.
Who's wearing a hijabi? Incredible.
Yeah. And so, therefore, what? She gets a pass on everything, and I never get to complain about anti-Semitism, even though Jews on a whole, according to FBI stats, there's more hate crimes against Jews than there are at this moment than Arabs or Muslims, according to the FBI stats. Now, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying what he's saying here is factually wrong. It's just an outright lie to make it seem like Jews are complaining about something that doesn't exist, even though they are. And it's a gaslighting campaign that continues to go on. That's my take on that part. Going back. I'm skipping around a little bit, trying to make sense, but we're getting there. We're getting there. If you guys want to look, the whole FBI census was posted recently, the new one, and it's interesting. I mean,
anyways, yeah. How is that the takeaway? I'm still so mind blown. Yeah, I genuinely couldn't tell you. But anyways, we were about like 20 minutes in after this. So I kind of wanted to watch. I wanted to catch up to where we were. He was just going on and on about like Houthis. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of losing my mind. I can't believe he stayed up all night doing this. Like an insane person, dude. All right. Maybe around here?
I mean, as far as I can tell, even worse. An already terrible situation. And Hassan is here running cover for them, whitewashing them, making them palatable to a general audience in the West. And all of this, once again, reminding you of their flag, it says death to Israel, curse upon the Jews. All of this contributes to a rising sense of anti-Semitism, of unsafeness that Jews feel around the world. And this, once again, blurring.
It is really crazy within the context of like, you have a staff member who is Lebanese, whose wife's family has had to get evacuated because the country is now an active fucking war zone. And you're like, people are being really mean to me. And it's really unacceptable how mean people are being right now.
Line of the phrase Zionist with Jew. So there is that. Let's see what else we got here. And catch back up to my spot. Deleted this part. And then, of course, the our lovely terrorist, cute terrorist here, was quick to embrace the meme. Now, I watched that interview with him. Even Hassan said in the fucking interview that he was surprised by how media trained he was. So why is everyone going to be like, oh, he said he's not a Houthi. He said he doesn't hate Jews. This man said in his interview he's surprised by how media trained he is. They know what they're doing. Propaganda is a big part of their arsenal. They're very good at it. But for some reason, when it comes to talking to this obvious,
dude, using they as a Jewish person is so crazy. It's fucking insane, dude.
Terrorist, Hassan's like, hey man, I'll just take him at face value. He's super media trained. He won't answer any of my questions, but I guess I believe.
Does he not hear himself? I think with Ethan Klein, everything that he wants to be a joke is a joke, and everything that he wants to not be a joke is not a joke. Can you explain the they? A lot of like Nazis, neo-Nazis, anti-Semites will use they to talk about the Jews. So they'll be like, they're controlling the weather or whatever. And in general, whenever you use the word they to describe a group of people, you should be careful to specify, especially within the context of like the Middle East. So to categorize like this Yemeni kid who said, I am not a Houthi, and then just be like, oh, look at how media trained they are. It just becomes like a you people type beat. Yeah. Yeah. Aren't Arab Semites too? Shh, don't tell them that. Don't tell Ethan Klein that. It might break his brain a little bit. Haven't watched the whole thing. It sounds exactly like, or sorry, it all sounds exactly the same. Blurs into one thing. Doesn't get any better to listen to. Yeah.
Believe him. Give me a fucking break.
Spooks, thank you
Here
for
he
the
is,
prime.
quick to capitalize. He said, I do not know who designed the picture, but if Hassan wants to join us in the operation of Israeli ships, we welcome you. Again, not 0 Israeli ships, which is funny. Propaganda, lies. 0 Israeli ships.
He also can't even get his like his talking points in order. So like the Houthis are super anti-Semitic because of this flag. But also they never target Israeli ships or attack Israelis. So they're what's happening here? I don't understand. Genuinely, I don't what?
And here they are. The two amigos. Although in this case, they'd be not amigo. They'd be pirates. Thank you. Here's another one. He's loving it. Let's get this dude a Nobel Peace Prize, by golly. Fuck Israel. We are coming. We are coming. Ready for anything. And yes, just like Houthi. Or just like Luffy. Houthi, Luffy. It does rhyme. Maybe there is more resemblance. But yes, unfortunately, it's hard to pull all of his tweets, although I found enough of them, clearly. But he was banned on all social media platforms. A lot of people tell you because
what's wrong with that? Did you consider that Israel is based? Did you? I bet you didn't consider that.
He's being silenced because the American government is what yada yada and yada yada corporate businesses, whatever. I mean, he was posting death threats against. He was posting death threats. So I think we can all agree that's probably a good thing there. So I don't know how many people still think this kid is awesome and cool. And, you know, let's keep hyping him up. He's the man. Hassan clearly believes that as early as yesterday. He compared, once again, a reminder, compared this kid to Anne Frank. Yes, Anne Frank, who, once again, important to say, has nothing to do with Israel. Think about how you do that in your brain, and you'll realize the problem. Anne Frank was in an attic with her family, hiding from Nazis. Her entire family, including her, were killed, except her dad. She wrote about like peace and philosophy and all. She was a lovely young girl that wrote about lovely, beautiful thoughts in her diary. You know, she persevered through all of it.
You're only allowed to resist an occupation or attacks on your country by a military power if you write nice thoughts about it and beautiful, lovely little thoughts. That's it. That's I didn't know that. Oh, dude, why didn't you tell me that? Oh, you're not allowed to hate your oppressors and the people that want to colonize your regions and kill your family and break down all your buildings. You're not allowed to hate them. You have to write nice little, lovely little thoughts. And only then it's okay. What the fuck? Excuse me. What the fuck? Jesus. Perfect victim fallacy. I mean, that's, yes, exactly. 100% exactly. Also, yeah, Jesus Christ, this link right here, 1 second, to talk about how could you ever compare someone that was in an act of genocide to someone else whose country is being destroyed by another country that's engaging in genocide? How could you compare these two people? They are not How dare you use Anne Frank's name in vain? Meanwhile, where did I just put it? Meanwhile,
being fat is just the worst thing. So I'm just so tired of being fat. I just hate being fat. It's just the worst thing. So I said, I'm doing Nutrisystem. So they send me the food, and these people got me on with peace and love. I hate to say it, but it's like the Anne Frank diet. Can I say that?
how could you use Anne Frank's name in vain? You're not allowed to compare her to this filthy brown. Only I'm allowed to use her name in vain. Fucking Trisha being like, I guess the news is true. Ethan Klein is anti-Semitic, as it would turn out. Can you believe it?
With like a very positive, hopeful outlook, and that's part of what is so striking about.
And yeah, this is a really good way of putting it. It's insane to be a millionaire in LA being scared of random Yemeni kid whose everyday existence is determined by a coin flip if American taxpayer-funded drone strikes will hit him. It's just pathetic, dude. It's just pathetic.
About her diary that makes it such a...
Wait, on the topic of like resisting oppressors and like the difference between Anne Frank and someone else, you have to have only good, nice thoughts. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure like is it Geneva Conventions? I'm trying to remember, but the TLDR is you are allowed to use whatever means necessary to fight an occupation. That's like the basis of I guess like everything that unfolded in South Africa. You are not required to behave perfectly as the perfect victim when dealing with apartheid states, which is not shocking at all. Anyways.
And there is a real thing that I think happens in real life a lot where, you know, this horrifying oppressive force has its boot on your throat, either figuratively or literally, and goes...
breakup was because of the 55-45 split deal Ethan had with Trish. He justified it as needing the extra bit to pay his workers.
It's just sad, dude. It's just sad.
Hey, I know I've got my boot on your throat. Be really careful to get my boot off your throat ethically. Don't get my boot off your throat in a way that would compromise your values or call your ethics into question. I'm going to keep crushing your, you know, body with my this oppressive way, but like make sure you handle this in the right way. And there is a real thing that...
Yeah. Yes. Violent oppression begets violent response. Yes. Yeah. It's just such a joke. It's such a joke. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. Don't worry. Ethan Klein will like this one because I'm talking about Jewish people being based. I'm sorry, but if Jewish people were resisting Nazis by bombing Nazi military facilities, I would think that was good. I would think that that was based, actually. And I think most people today should be able to see that and say, yeah, actually, these people who are being sent to their deaths. Yeah, Warsaw, yeah. These people being sent to their deaths are allowed to fight back and not just lay down and take it and peacefully. They have to leave peacefully. They have to leave peacefully. It's the same fucking idea, right? Like, I'm sorry, but if you're invading Lebanon and you're bombing the shit out of major cities in Lebanon and you are basically engaging in soon-to-be war with Iran after much strife with Iran, let's call it that, right? And then Hezbollah targets a military base. No civilians are killed. It targets a military base. And you don't find that acceptable. But you have no problem with Israel killing tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of brown people. You just have a double standard. You have a double standard. These people are allowed to do what they want and defend themselves, and these people are not, right? Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Time held read, you know what I mean? This kid is a terrorist and he's posting death threats on Twitter, you know? It's, you know, and again, I know it's like, it's not, it's Saudi Arabia that's doing the genocide on Yemen, right? That's the war. Israel's never invaded Yemen. So it's like, it's almost like he's being like, oh, he's getting genocided. I don't know. It's all kind of a little nebulous.
It's all a little nebulous.
All the Gulf states were attacking, yeah, with U.S. support. Okay.
Quick question. Quick question. Who is Saudi aligned with? Who are the Saudis aligned with? Just as a quick little, just like a little question for you. Just like a little, just wondering, just a little bit curious. Do you, any ideas? Could be anyone really.
So we had something to do with that. But regardless, I don't know. Now, if you want to compare a kid, whatever. Okay, I'm not going to split hairs here.
Okay.
So once again, yeah, when you say Zionist, I would love to know, what is it you mean? Do you mean it like the Houthis? Mean it? Or do you mean it like a liberal Israeli talking about Western settler expansionism? This is a conversation that needs to happen. That's not happening. In fact, when a Jewish person like myself says that this is a conversation that needs to happen, I'm overwhelmed with comments telling me that because of what's happening in Gaza, we just don't have the bandwidth to care about that right now. Or, say what?
3.
All good.
Who is saying this?
I mean, listen, I don't even need a list. You guys have seen it, okay?
I'm sorry, but like the left, let's pretend like the left is one big monolith. They're the last to say we can only care about one thing at once. That's the right.
You know what happens. So let's see. There's a few more. There's one other topic here.
I just kind of can't believe Ethan thought doing this 3-hour segment was going to make everyone cancel Hassan. I think he's deluded himself into thinking that like I'm based. I'm the based one. Like, dog, no, you're not, man. No, you're not.
I think this is a bonus meme, unrelated, but I think it's important. Actually, no, it's related. Fuck it, I'll say it's related. God damn it! Oh, let me download it. This is worth it. Stand by. Download blocked. Let's do that. Once again, it's gonna be worth it. Stand by. Why can't I download this fucking image? Okay, fuck it.
Must be the Houthis.
I'll just show you this.
I bet it was a Hassan fan blocking the download.
I don't want to show my screen because I don't know what the fuck's on it. I just wanted to show the Trump yarmulke.
Dude, they're blocking my downloads. This is anti-Semitic.
Let me download the fucking image. So stupid. Okay, here, I've opened it in photo editor. Let's see if that works.
It was like watching your boomer grandpa or grandma get socially engineered to give her Google Drive login to a fraud. Yeah.
Dude. I mean, it's in the doc. Or it's in the...
Hassan Mod blocked his access to that specific image.
Why is it not?
It's just so sad because there's...
Thank you, Zach.
You could 100%, and I have done it, and I think other people should do it, and I think it's important to do, uplift voices from Israelis who are capable of recognizing that the IDF is an occupying force. It's the IOF, and that it frequently terrorizes, at the very least, let's just talk about Gaza and the West Bank, Palestinians, okay? Doesn't give a fuck if settlers commit violence against Palestinians at all. Doesn't intervene. We have like video footage of this. Frequent instances, by the way, of verifiable proof that Israeli guards have committed a number of atrocities against Palestinian prisoners. That there have been a number of Palestinian prisoners that have sat in prisons or in jails for years without fair trial. We have evidence of all of this stuff, all of this. And you can talk about the people in Israel who see this stuff and recognize that that we're the baddies, and do everything that they can to try and help show other people what the state of Israel does. I mean, there are Israelis that are ex-IDF members that give tours in Israel to show people how Palestinians live, because they understand that as Israeli citizens, as Jewish Israeli citizens, they are allowed to pass through checkpoints without problems. They know that IDF members are not going to fucking shoot them, Hannibal doctrine or whatever. They're not going to just sniper rifle them to the back when they're not looking. And they use their privilege to show people, here, come and see what Palestinians have to deal with. Come and see. There was a video we watched semi-recently. This Palestinian who's lived there his whole life, whose family has lived there his whole life, or their whole lives. They put a checkpoint right in front of his door. In order to leave his house to do anything, he has to go through a checkpoint. And there are ex-IDF soldiers that obviously have resigned and have said, you throw me in prison, I don't fucking care. I'm not supporting this anymore. And spend their time showing people this is how Palestinians have to live in the West Bank. Like, there are a lot of really amazing people in Israel that try their best to enlighten others of the shit that their government gets up to. You could talk about that. That would be a great way to use your platform, Ethan. That would be a great way to use your platform. If you're trying to bring sympathy to Israelis, that would be a really, really good way to use your platform, or talking about real anti-Semitism that happens. I think not even like within the past month, within October, there was a synagogue that was attacked. I mean, there are frequent synagogue attacks, just like there are frequent mosque attacks, but it was not that long ago. Was it the one? It was in France. This. 2 men charged over synagogue arson attack in France. The main suspect expressed deep hatred of Jews and said he acted in support of Palestinian cause. Like, you should be able to if he wants to talk about anti-Semitism and how anti-Semitism is real, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about it and also recognize this has nothing to do with Palestinians. This is a Nazi pretending like their cause is just in the name of Palestinians. This would be a great way to enlighten people about real anti-Semitism that happens, that impacts real people, and show others what Jewish people have to deal with, what Jewish people have to live with. But instead, you're like, my life is so hard because people are mean to me on the internet. Also, I'm an LA millionaire. Wah. Like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking joking right now?
Oh, this is so fucking dumb. This is so needed right now.
This is so needed right now, King.
Dan sent me this last night. Important update. You guys can get the limited edition. Trump being shot, commemorative yarmulke. As you can see,
on denim.
Hey, wait a minute.
I want to point out was probably the funniest aspect.
Beautiful original art by a very talented artist, clearly. And it can be yours for $300. So.
Only 300.
Dude, that's a collector's item.
Yeah, man. People are lining up to get.
I like how the second he stops talking about Hassan, his staff is like, fucking finally, thank God, we can actually speak again.
This yarmulke. Can you imagine going up to synagogue with this shit on your head?
Showing up to Shabbat dinner wearing this.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
There you go. See, it was worth it.
Oh.
Thank you.
You go for Yom Kippur service wearing that.
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. So, Doc 13. Okay, thank you. Doc 13. There's one more post here before we move on.
There's one more post.
When I started posting about this stuff, I always deal with this. So again, this is part of why I just need to talk about it. I know you guys don't like when I talk about Hassan. Well, I appreciate there's a lot of crossover, and I'm grateful to those of you who are able to watch us both. It's impossible for me to ignore that the majority of these people coming from people coming from his community. Something his and his audience refused to reckon with. Hassan's whitewashing of that Houthi kid, says he wants to spear all Zionists to death, was frankly disgusting. I don't give a fuck that he's seen an episode of One Piece. I'd like to know why he's hanging out with boat captain Chinese cargo vessels, a.k.a. a hostage. And as more info has come out about this kid being a terrorist affiliated and being anti-Semitic, lots more. There's a lot more examples. Obviously, I didn't pull all of them, but I think I pulled enough. Hassan has refused to disavow him. In fact, the opposite. He continues to prop him up as a trustworthy, reliable, good guy to look up to and to consume media and messaging from. The reason I brought this up is because this was the guy who told me to kill myself on Twitter. And I suspected he must be a Hassan fan, but I didn't know. But then, so comrade.
I just, sorry. I suspected he may be a Hassan fan. Notice they have the same name.
Comrade Casey, Hassan fan, the guy who did the initial tweet, Hassan Kader. This is chat from Hassan's Discord. They're all part of this community. I mean,
you're tired of being...
Again, just to emphasize, I know Hassan has tried to get them to back off. I know that we're not responsible for everything we do. You know, our audience does. But for some reason, I feel that when our audience goes too far, I'm pretty quick to call them out and to try to stem bad stuff. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. That being said, for whatever reason, I find that a lot of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, weird, obsessive fucking harassment is pretty much 80% Hassan fans. That's just the
source. Don't worry about it.
The empirical fact of the matter. But I know that, Hassan does rebuke the people who say mean things about me.
Dude. Chat. The saddest, genuinely, I think the saddest part for H3 fans is that Ethan Klein has become what he used to make fun of. Like, this is the type of person that Ethan Klein used to make fun of. And he's become it. Permanent victim, incapable of recognizing things that are jokes or things that are not jokes. I'm talking about Frogan saying, like, no, I hate Arabs. No, Ethan Klein, please don't unfollow me. And he's become someone who's just like, is the permanent victim. Even during an ongoing genocide, he is the victim. It's like, dude, you used to make fun of people who would do this shit. And this is what you're doing now? You don't see any... Okay. I became a fan at a low point in my life. It makes me sad that what got me through that time is now something I'm ashamed of. I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of it, right? Excuse me. I mean, like, it's not like you have a way of being omnipotent and knowing that, like, oh yeah, he's gonna become insane in about a year, right?
So obviously, not a personal attack, but certainly there's something in the water. Okay, you know what I mean. All right, so moving on to the final part, which is short, is Hassan denying rapes on October 7th. The popular talking point, something that I've seen, supported by pretty much the most random, bigots on Twitter to like the most mainstream commentary people. Everybody is somehow caught on or agreed.
Let's see the clip. Let's see it.
Once
Play
again,
it.
just like the Houthi spike tweet when everyone rushed in to tell me I'm fake and I'm like a piece of shit and I hate Arabs, are the same people denying the October 7th rapes. And the reason I say that, before I even watch these clips, is like, okay, the UN is often cited source by pro-Palestinian activists and all the rebucation of Israel. Well, here is a UN report, Sexual Violence and Conflict, Office of the Special Representation of the Secretary General. They did a mission report on October 7th, sexual violence. And I'll go down, I'll spare you guys this long, long document and read the conclusion, which is succinct and to the point. Conclusion. Overall, based on the totality of information gathered from multiple and independent sources at the different locations, there are reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence occurred at several locations across Gaza periphery, including in the form of rape, gang rape, during the 7th of October attacks, credible circumstantial information which may be indicative of some forms of sexual violence, including genital mutilation, sexualized torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, was also gathered. This is the UN. In the beginning, a lot of people...
So, did you finish reading that?
People weren't comfortable coming forward as time's gone on.
Oh, God, dude. Oh, God.
More firsthand accounts coming forward of women telling their story of watching it happen. And in my opinion, it's impossible to deny it. And the active attempt to is vile. It's frankly vile. And it's just painfully ironic, which this whole thing is, because I feel like the left really cares about racism. You know, they've built the whole platform on it over the past decade, 2 decades. But like all of a sudden, you know, they're nowhere to be found. They're accusing women just because they're Israeli of lying about being raped. There are women on record in interviews, in these reports, on record saying, I was raped. You know, it's the problem too, by the way. Generally, if you're being raped by a bunch of terrorists during a terrorist attack, you're probably going to be murdered as well. Most people raped were probably murdered. But there's still firsthand accounts, and plenty of them. And they're being denied. And it's not so much like the anti-Semitism, because once again, I'm going to do my best to...
I want to let him finish his point, and then I want to talk about everything that he just said.
Separate it. These are Israelis, okay? But it's the disgusting hypocrisy. It's the cognitive dissonance. It's the, like, MAGA brain. I mean, this is left-wing MAGA. Following dogma before facts. All the way to...
Talk about believing dogma before facts. Oh, dude, no, this is not what you want to go down. Do you remember the baby beheading?
To the fucking end of the game. Okay. And Hassan, once again, contributing to this atmosphere of disgusting rape denial, which again, something that over the last 10 years, we've agreed is a terrible thing. We've all said, you know, believe victims, support women. But apparently when they're Israeli civilians, they're lying.
Dude.
Here he is laughing when Kamala mentions October 7 rapes. Let's see.
October 7, 1,200 people were massacred. many young people who were simply attending a music festival.
Objectively true.
Women were horribly raped.
Now, when she says women were horribly raped, you'll notice Hassan bows his head with a
You know, this is a good video because it's titled Hamas Abi.
giggle. He's smart enough not to outright say they're lying, but he's signaling to his audience quite clearly, I'll say, this is not a dog whistle, it's a dog shout, that he doesn't believe them. And it's echoed in the chat. I mean, you can all see, and I'll show you guys, that the chat turns into a frenzy of calling her a Zionist and a liar.
Best food thing for the tier 1.
These are leftists. These are people who support women. Blows my fucking mind. There's no consistency. It's a total farce.
Raped. As I said then, I say today, Israel had...
What's funny about that, Hassan? You know, what do you think his audience is getting from that?
A rightly raped. As I said then, I say...
Like, did she really go there? Yeah, it happened, bro. Sorry. Let's go ahead and read the comments. Maybe I'm misinterpreting.
Today, Israel...
This is so cringe, dude. Oh my God. Young Donut, thank you for the tier 1.
Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters.
And once again, I don't even think her statement, like, I think she's doing a pretty good job. She says they have a right to defend themselves, as all countries do.
Pixel Brave, thank you for the tier 1.
But how they defend themselves matters. That's true, right? I think we all agree. I think even a lot of people who are critical of Israel would say they had a right to defend themselves up to a point. But then it became, you know, this horrible humanitarian crisis with mass murder, right? And so at what point, where is that point, right? But once again, and in recent news, the president put out a warning to Israel saying that if they don't fix the humanitarian crisis happening in Gaza, that they're going to pull embargo. They're going to do embargo on arms. So, like, you know.
This is so difficult to watch. How are you doing it? Great question, dude. Great question. Launch failure, thank you for the tier 1. Jimmy Star, thank you for the tier 1.
She's not giving Israel a blank check by any means, you know. And so then they're going to turn on her and call her a Zionist because
I want him to finish reacting to this clip, and then I want to say my piece.
Rapes on October 7th, which is just factual.
Far too many innocent Palestinians.
Kamala, you dipshit, stop lying. I hate that they always say that. Is there a better way to fucking gross? Boo. Oh my God, with these fucking lies. We are so
oh, his chat is so anti-Semitic. Ugh. Can you believe the anti-Semitism here?
Cooked. Again with this shit. Goddamn, stop repeating this fucking lie. We're still perpetuating this shit. Fuck you, Kamaga. Ironically, this is MAGA behavior right here, calling these women liars in the face of irrefutable evidence, in my opinion. Overwhelming evidence, let's say. God, this chat scroll is so weird. It goes so fast, but then when I click, it doesn't move. Come on now. Jesus, where's the chat?
Dude, he looks so crazy. Oh my God. Launch failure, thank you for the gift sub. Oh my God.
I mean, you guys get the picture. It's easy to go. You can review his chat logs. They're not pretty, and they never are. They're horrible, frankly. Fuck off. No proof. Me when I lie. Once again, these are probably, we support women. We believe women, people. Literally empty vessels of a human being. Justifying genocide? She literally didn't, by the way. She literally said the opposite, that, like, to a point, and then she's criticizes Israel.
No, she's justifying it by basically insinuating that the Gazans that are part of Hamas are animals and they need to be put down because they're going around committing mass rape. That's justifying
Making
it.
this shit up again. Kamala, stop. This is a lie. It's pretty much every other comment. Fucking lies, you bitch.
So scary.
I guess they have. I guess this audience has that authority. I didn't know that. Weasley, little liar, dude. I saw a meme. So my point is that like he's signaling to the audience, and they're very much picking up what he's putting out. You know, and once again, without saying anything, look at the discourse happening. Look at the discourse happening.
Ethan literally made fun of Aaron Bushnell, hypocrite crybaby. Yeah.
This is not good.
Analyzing this chat like this is deeply disturbing. Shows how he's ignoring criticism. I mean, yeah.
Not good. Holocaust Harris. Are you kidding me?
It's funny how he'll show a clip of Hassan chuckling about it, but refuses or ignores the 50 fucking clips of Hassan explaining how there's misinfo and around the reports of the mass rapes on October 7th, etc. It's funny he's not showing those clips, much like how he reads half the UN report. So I think he stops talking about this at long last. Maybe I think this is a good time to talk about this rape accusation stuff. Okay. Also, it's just very rich coming from Ethan Klein, the same guy who laughed at Cutie Cinderella for talking about how deepfakes are very traumatizing. And that it's obviously it's not the same as rape. No one is claiming that it's the same as rape, but it is.
Love your early coverage.
It invokes the same feelings.
This make me very sad and disappointed in so many ways.
Yeah. It invokes the same feelings of being violated. And Cutie has the audacity to open up and talk about it. And then he fucking laughs about it. It's like, oh my God, dude. Yeah, you really care a lot about women feeling violated. Uh-huh. Sure, man. Ray, thank you so much for the Prime. Well, he apologized. Oh, well, did he change after? He didn't change. Well, it sounds like his apology doesn't mean shit. So let's talk about a couple things. First of all, he pulls up, I want to break it up into two big segments, I guess, or two smaller segments. One is the UN report that he talks about, or that he pulls up for half a second. And the other is the clip of Hassan chuckling, which is him denying that rapes happened. Before I go any further, I think it is important to mention that anytime there is a paramilitary power or a military group that is doing any form of invasion or violence, I'm sorry, but it is a fact of war that sexual violence will occur. Based on that fact, there is no one on the planet, there is no sane person that will look you in the eyes and tell you Hamas didn't do any rape ever. Yes, I don't even have to know the details or find all of the evidence or have every victim come forward and say that it happened to know that it happened. This is what happens when you give, or not like give, that's inaccurate phrasing, but when people with guns have power and use that power and exert it on other people. Some people experience sexual violence. I know that to be true 100%. Even with good command chains or a chain of command, even with like actual military powers that respect authority. So like, let's talk about U.S. troops, right? From my understanding, U.S. troops, you must submit to whatever your boss says, essentially. And if you don't, you will be discharged or what's the other thing? Depending on what you do, or if you deny an order, you could be like arrested. Generally, chain of court-martial. Thank you. Thank you. You have to listen to whatever your higher-ups say, or you will be court-martialed. Even in that world, okay, where there should be a chain of command and there should be supervisors and lieutenants and sergeants stopping people in their command from doing things like, I don't know, raping civilians. There are still instances of U.S. troops raping civilians. I mean, and that's not even talking about within the military. That's a whole other fucking bucket of bolts. Okay, we're not even going to talk about that shit. And it's documented too? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. It is not surprising to me at all that if a military group that is supposed to have a good chain of command, that is supposed to follow orders and nothing more and nothing less, if they are enacting sexual violence on others, I totally believe that Hamas, this group that doesn't really have the same power or the same maybe organizational skill because they don't have an actual military, would be committing rape. I'm not surprised at all. And I believe that this is something that happened. I 100% believe that this has happened. And I think you would be hard-pressed to find someone who would tell you, no one in Hamas has ever raped anyone ever. It's literally a war and revolution, insane amounts of anger and vitriol for your enemy. Exactly. Only anchors, thank you for the 2 months. With that in mind, the reason so many people, to answer your question, the chatter that said, then why are chatters saying Kamala is lying about rape? The reason chatters are saying that, and the reason that he's chuckling, is because it has become a dog whistle to say, all the rape that has happened on October 7th is a dog whistle for the mass rape claim that the Biden administration and Israel pushed for months. And why was it pushed? It was pushed for the same reason that the baby beheading was pushed, despite it being not authenticated at all. Which was also never verified, by the way. Bye, capitalism. Thank you so much for the 2 months. It's also to misdirect the conversation back to October 7th as if nothing has ever occurred since then. Yes. Wartime propaganda. Yes. It is a method of, and especially with Arab people and Muslim people and brown people. I mean, look at Europe and the shit show that like alt-right media has created about the mass rapes that Arab men are doing in Europe. It's preying on the same part of your brain that's responding to the propaganda of, oh, brown man must be raping. So the media is allowed to talk about, oh, mass rape, mass rape, mass rape. Meanwhile, the UN report that he pulled up, the very same one, do you want to know what it says past what he read? He read out this part, which said, there are reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence, including rape and gang rape, occurred on multiple locations of Israel and Gaza and the Gaza periphery during the attacks on October 7th. Yes. Again, I think you would be hard-pressed to find someone who would disagree with that statement. Oh, what's that past that point? Let's read it. Let's see what else is there. Let's see. Following allegations of brutal sexual violence committed during and in the aftermath of the Hamas-led terror attack, Pramila Patten, the Special Representative Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflict, led an official visit to Israel from January 29th to February 14th to gather, analyze, and verify reports of sexual violence related to the October 7th attack. Due to ongoing hostilities, Special Representative did not request to visit Gaza, where other UN entities that monitor sexual violence are operational. And then it says here, what I witnessed in Israel were scenes of unspeakable violence perpetrated with shocking brutality. During her methodology, she said that her team met with families of hostages and members of communities displaced from several kibbutzim. It conducted confidential interviews with 34 individuals, including survivors and witnesses of the October 7th attacks, released hostages, first responders with health and service providers. It visited 4 attack sites as well as the morgue to which the bodies of the victims were transferred, and reviewed over 5,000 photographic images and some 50 hours of footage of the attacks. It was a catalog of the most extreme, inhumane forms of killing, torture, and other horrors, including sexual violence. The team also found convincing information that sexual violence was committed against hostages and has reasonable grounds to believe such violence may still be ongoing against those in captivity. Which, like I said, I think you would be hard-pressed to find people that would say otherwise, that would say that no one in Hamas would ever do a rape ever. No. That person doesn't exist. You made them up in your head. Oh, and what does this say? While there are reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence occurred in the Nova Music Festival, Route 232, and Kibbutz Ruim, reported incidents of rape could not be verified in other location. Concurrently, the team determined that at least 2 allegations of sexual violence that were widely reported in the media were unfounded. This is why people laugh and they roll their fucking eyes when people like Kamala Harris talk about all the rape that happened on October 7th, because they present those facts or those details without any actual context at all. Without the context to like, oh, here are instances where this was unfounded. Here are instances where we literally couldn't verify any of this shit. Oh, and what do they continue to say? Turning to the West Bank, she painted a grim picture of intense fear and insecurity, with women and men terrified and deeply disturbed over the ongoing tragedy in Gaza. On her visit to Ramallah, she spotted instances of sexual violence in the context of detention, such as invasive body searches, beatings, including genital areas, threats of rape against women and female family members, sexual harassment, and threats of rape during house raids and at checkpoints were also reported. She expressed disappointment that the immediate reaction to her report by some Israeli political actors was not to open inquiries into those alleged incidents, but rather to reject them outright via social media. Do you know what's happening here? Translation. This woman from the UN goes to investigate the sexual violence that occurred on October 7th. Does a full report on this. Okay? In her time in the West Bank, in her time in Israel, she sees Palestinian women being subject to sexual violence. The immediate reaction from Israeli political actors was, no, you can't look into that. Only look into the Hamas people doing the sexual violence.
It also further plays into the stereotypes of Arab people from the West that they're somehow more lecherous than enlightened Westoids.
Yes. Can you imagine you are there to investigate sexual violence that has occurred to Israelis or has occurred against Israelis? And while you're there, you're like, whoa, we should investigate these as well. Like, these Palestinian women are also being subject to this and being told, no, you're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to investigate the brown people that are doing the sexual violence. And then it continues talking about exactly that. That there can be no doubt about what happened on October 7th. Reports pointing to the reports finding that several bodies naked from the waist down were recovered. The report also indicated detention of Palestinians has been compounded by sexual violence. Nevertheless, she rejected the false equivalency between these actions and hostage taking by a foreign terrorist action. Incidents of sexual violence in Israel and the West Bank contained in the report add another horrific dimension to the tragedy unfolding in the Middle East. Noting that at least 2 widely reported allegations of sexual violence were unfounded, she urged all parties to act responsibly and avoid sensationalizing headlines. Like, this report that you're fucking highlighting, Ethan Klein, literally says the opposite of what you wanted to say. They pushed it as if it was something systematic via the New York Times article, which was thoroughly debunked. Yep. Yep. And this continues going on and on and on, basically talking about how there are a lot of Palestinians that are actively being detained that are dealing with sexual violence. And it is very sad and depressing that we are sensationalizing headlines of debunked instances where rape did not occur, where sexual violence did not occur, instead of avoiding and not talking about the debunked instances, we're still talking about those, and we're not talking about the very real, verifiable, hard proof that we have of this happening to Palestinian prisoners. It also mentions that Israel doesn't even give full info to the UN. Yeah.
I follow the Church of All Denons, the same DNML.
So, yeah. None of these entities were invited today to present their findings. He pointed out extending an invitation for the special representative to visit Gaza. He pledged Palestine's readiness to cooperate. Council should demand that Israel do the same, since that country keeps saying that it has nothing to hide, he stated, adding, "Let the facts speak, let the law decide." Yeah. And here it talks about this. For decades, similar reports regarding sexual assault against Palestinians have not led to the convening of a single council meeting. He then recalled that Special Representative's mission did not seek to gather information or verify allegations in the occupied Palestinian territory so as not to duplicate the ongoing work of other UN entities there. Brian, kill me. Thank you for the tier 1. TGI, thank you so much for the prime. Yeah. The reason why people call Kamala Harris's statement disinfo and lies, the reason why Hassan chuckles, is because the people that talk about Israel and the people that spend all of their time framing Hamas as evil as they can, or as evil as possible, they spend zero effort and time showing the verifiable evidence that we have that Palestinians in prison, that have been in prison for years, sometimes still awaiting trial, are frequent subjects of sexual assault and sexual violence. And none of that ever gets brought up. None of it ever gets brought up. Kamala Harris would never bring it up. Biden would never bring it up. But they are more than happy to talk about the mass rapes that are not happening, that have not been proven to happen. They're more than happy to sensationalize things that haven't happened, like the rapes that are in that UN report that were not able to be verified, that were debunked. Also, they want us to focus on one day a year ago from Hamas and then just ignore the next 365 days about Israel. Yeah. And then use it as a way to say Israel should defend itself. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? One thing important to know, Palestinian authorities, despite knowing their members have committed atrocities, always request independent investigations, even if they will be charged. Israel, on the other hand, would never accept independent investigation, and they wouldn't prosecute all their criminals either. Yep. Well, if they prosecuted their criminals, they'd lose like half the IDF. Professional Pretzel, thank you for the prime. Hassan cringing at false claims about mass rape on October 7th over Israeli society pro-rape protests. And dude, that shit is crazy to me. That shit is insane. Moving on. Yeah, I hope that explains how I feel and why other people feel very frustrated by that. It's disingenuous to talk about sexual violence and to talk about how much you care about sexual violence. And it's just very important to you. And not even mention once the Palestinian sexual violence that has been occurring before October 7th and the sexual violence that has been occurring after October 7th. It is disingenuous to pretend like you care but you only care when it's about Israelis being sexually violated. You're being selective because you want to push a narrative, which is why people write fucking sludge in the chat and say, Brian, kill me. Because you don't actually care about this. You care about exonerating Israel. Double Down News went in depth about the multiple investigation on October 7th, including where the babies and the sexual assault talking point came from. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's very good. I can link it here, but you can find it on YouTube. Maybe we can watch it later. Or just read the fucking report that you're using as a source, LMFAO. Yeah. I've honestly never seen such a chaotic collapse into the deep, dark shit stain of the internet by a person. Ethan's falls insane. It is. It's fucking crazy. Like, dare I bring up the statement from Biden saying they beheaded babies? I saw it. Correction. I actually didn't see it. Maybe I didn't actually see it. And that's just totally okay. That's totally fine. You're just totally allowed to do that. Like, huh? What the fuck? Okay, let's finish this up so we can watch Hassan talking about it.
Yeah. Sorry, the scrolling is just so bad, but you guys get the point, I think, by now. So that's just one. There's more. There's another one. Can't help but laugh. Where the fuck's the other one? I feel like it got erased.
Dude, the Hassan operatives erased the link.
There's another one of him telling, talking to chat, and he says, Hamas rapes, what rapes? Where did that go? We were just, I swear, that's so weird. Is it in my doc? Sorry, guys, give me a sec. Like I said, I kind of did my best throwing this together. As I felt I needed to do this now, today, after all the stuff that happened in my Insta stories. Fucking hell, where is it? Is it this? No. Does anyone know where that is? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I got it. Wait, no, that's not it. Oh, shit. Go ahead with the music, Zach. Don't leave me floundering here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. We love that.
You know that this... Sorry. Ethan is 100% correct here. I can tell you're a diehard Ethan Klein fan because you said that and immediately, just like your fucking God Emperor King, backed off like a total pussy, unfollowed and left. God forbid somebody might push back on you. Quick, delete the comment.
You know the video I'm talking about? Ay, ay, ay.
The front fell off.
The front fell off this part right here. Excuse me.
Who is on first?
What? But didn't we just watch it? Yeah, we just... I'm so confused. We literally just watched it. Which one is that? Do you have a link to it? Wait. Hold on, let me open this. But this is a specific...
Me when I'm sleep deprived, but I need to attack Hassan.
This is a specific link to an image. But when I open it, it just goes to image 11. Sorry, guys. I wouldn't do this if I didn't think it was important. Right at the end, too.
KETH.
Okay, yeah, oh, shit, you're right. This is my bad. Yeah, it's been here the whole fucking time. Sorry, I'm tired. I got 4 hours of sleep yesterday and last night. Not good. My app is yelling at me.
There's no future.
Okay, first of all, I just have to say, is there not a fucking TikTok filter? Why does his head look so big? He looks like a bobblehead. Does that look real or am I tripping out?
There's no future of prosperity and peace.
Am I tripping out or does that look normal? Tripping me out. Okay, so anyway.
He does actually kind of have a bobblehead. What's your take on why Ethan made this video? I think he's become convinced that like his crusade against Hassan is based, and that all of the harassment that he's received is very obviously from Hassan fans. And there's no way that any of the people that are disagreeing with him are fans of his that disagree with whatever the fuck this is. And I think he honestly, genuinely thinks, no, I just need to show them that I'm right. And then they'll believe me and they'll be on my side. Look, I spent all night preparing this. You guys believe me, right? I don't look insane. Except he's only made himself look more insane. And I think at this point, he's just very in denial. And I think he thinks that like he can still absolve himself because he's still based. He thinks that people just don't really understand that, not that they actually disagree with him. Yeah, I think he thinks, well, if you guys understood my position, you would think I was based.
Good point. Good point.
What raves does Hezbollah do? Bro, what? Captain
Spog, thank you so much for the 4 months. Thanks. Also, sorry, but like, someone linked this as well. In the context of this chat message, it's crazy how little criticism he can handle. Comments made in good faith months ago have just driven him down the most insane rabbit hole. Yes. But like this clip that Ethan Klein posted to his story this morning, Ethan says, scary how comfortable he is, Hassan, lying to his audience. We'll watch the clip in a second, but like, look at this graveyard of deleted comments. Oh my God. Do you know how delusional you have to be to think that every single one of these people is a Hassan fan? Are you fucking kidding me? It can't possibly be people who like Ethan Klein who are tired of seeing him go down this insane rabbit hole for no reason. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you, right, Muse? He didn't become anything. This is the same unhinged behavior that he treated right-wingers with, but the right-wingers were more odious, so folks excused it. This is how he's always behaved towards anyone he decides to target. Oh yeah, 100%. Totally agree with you. I think the difference is like...
As a long-term H3 viewer, I was hyped when he said he was taking the show in a more lighthearted comedy path a month ago. Glad it lasted.
How did you manage to make Plankton sound sarcastically pissed? Glad it lasted. Oh, dude. Anyways, yeah. I think the difference was that, so like, for example, when it comes to making fun of cops, obviously you shouldn't make fun of the way that people look. And you should never target attributes where you end up just friendly firing to a bunch of other people that look a certain way or whatever. And I think you should try and keep criticism civil, right? I think for a lot of leftists, myself included, there are not exceptions, but alterations to this rule when you're talking about rightoids, right? So for example, cops. My favorite thing to do, okay? My favorite thing to do, okay? Is say you have like two paths as a bald person. You either become Northern Lion and you're drowning in pussy, or you become a thumb and then you have to go kill people's dogs. You can engage in like mean-spirited behavior, I think, against people who don't give a shit if you live or die, right? I'm sorry, I don't really feel like cops are a protected class, and I think I'm allowed to punch up. And in the way that I punch up, I try not to target other people in those insults, even if I am making fun of looks or something like that, right? I also don't think that they're going to change if I'm civil with them. And I think, actually, bullying against cops is way more likely to be effective than being like, you really should reconsider killing people's dogs and shooting homeless people that are unarmed and hating black people. You should consider it. They're not going to fucking consider it. Okay? They're not going to consider it. Are you kidding me? And I think for a lot of people, they just assumed Ethan Klein was able to make this distinction that, like, you're allowed to be a little bit sloppier and you're allowed to do bullying when it's against people who fucking suck and are choosing to suck. Being a cop, you are choosing to suck. The problem with Ethan Klein is I don't think he actually has a good compass on what's based and what's not based. So he just sees anyone he doesn't like or anyone who gives him any pushback, and he's like, clearly, I must still be correct. And then he does the same thing, but it doesn't work when you're attacking people who, like, are correct and you're not. So, moving on.
What rapes did fucking Hamas do? What are you talking?
No, you're lying, dude. Wait. Sorry. I'll go back on this clip for a sec. Wait. Ethan also didn't believe the IDF raped Palestinians. I timestamped it. You're lying.
Holy shit, it's 2 p.m.
Sorry, bro.
It's all good.
It's definitely going longer than I thought. But so I saw this and my first thought was like, that's horrible. But I couldn't really find a lot of evidence to back it up. And like, well, let me play the clip.
I saw on the news today a guy who lives in Gaza said that Israelis are raping Palestinian women. Yes. Israelis raping Palestinian women is a well-documented part of Israelis' apartheid apparatus. So that part is not, that part, of course, comes with it.
Anyway, that's the heart and soul. I mean, I don't necessarily have to,
there is
I don't have to watch the rest because
there's a gag order on that was recently released on an Israeli soldier that had raped a Palestinian woman, and this kind of there it is. The IDF removed the gag order in 2016.
He was arrested.
Yeah,
and he was publicly shamed. How is this systemic rape as part of the institution of Israel?
The same concept exists in the American police force, where any kind of sexual act under the coercive institutions of like being incarcerated is understandably and also technically and morally considered sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
There are reports of Palestinian women in captivity.
Oh shit.
Talking about that experience.
So let's see. I found one of the sources. I saw you like this tweet by this squirrel guy. So I just looked into
every squirrel.
Yeah. So I just looked into all the sources he posted because I was genuinely curious to know if that was true. And I mean, well, so besides that article I just pulled up, which is like the one really prominent example I could find of an Israeli guard raping a Palestinian. And again, he was arrested and publicly named. But the other one, one of the ones that he quoted was like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Care.com. It's literally just like a little blurb. Palestinian females freed from Israeli detention said more than 15 fellow Palestinian women were raped by Israeli interrogators to force them to confess to charges leveled against them and collaborate with the Israeli intelligence. Quote, Israeli investigators and intelligence officers keep videotapes of raping to blackmail the female detainees. She told IslamOnline.net, which is another website. So according to, I guess, this website, which I then went to, which just doesn't.
Oh, well, that's not going to be too helpful.
Hey, what are these terrorist letters? We can't trust this. I bet this website is Hamas run. Look at this. Hamas letters. Sorry. Hamas letters.
Oh, well, that's not going to be too helpful to you, is it?
Well, I translated it.
Translate it.
Yeah, but like it just, I don't understand. This doesn't seem like super credible, at least, or I mean, it might be credible.
Do you have an issue with CARE or Islam.net or the?
Well, what is this?
The lack of.
I mean, listen, that's a huge claim. 15 Palestinian women were raped.
I like how he can understand that if a news outlet reports on sexual assault and mass rape and systematic rape that it should be verified and the source should be credible. That you need more than just, oh, you guys can trust us, this happened. But when it's happening to Israelis, what about believe all women? Oh, it's almost like when you make a huge claim like there is mass rape or systematic rape happening, people expect there to be some credibility behind that. People expect there to be a report. They expect there to be a thorough investigation. And you can't just write some text and then say, you guys need to believe all women. Like, fuck off, dude.
Mm-hmm. I was sexually abused in photographs, she said. But like, what? I don't know what this is. What is this?
What do you mean?
Is this a source?
You're asking if it's credible.
Yeah. Yes, CARE is credible. I think, at least.
What is
CARE is? CARE is
There's no
the
source. There's like nothing here. Like shit.
Oh, you need a source? What happened to believe all women? That's so weird.
Pretty extraordinary claim.
To be very clear, I think that is a good stance to hold. I think media reporting on things, obviously this is CARE, and CARE is actually credible. And also the UN has reported on this, on the mass rapes that actually do occur under Palestinian detainees in Israel. But I do think it is good to have sources and credible information on stuff, and you should have investigations on this sort of thing. I think that is a good standard to have. I think if the New York Times reports on some shit and says like, yeah, this is happening, I would hope that the New York Times would have a link to an investigation that occurred. That is a good standard to have. But it's crazy that you only have this standard when it's Israeli guards raping people and not, but you don't have this when it's Hamas mass raping civilians. Okay. All right, man. Whatever you say, dude. Okay.
I mean, fuck. Like it's serious to say that the Israeli apparatus is using rape systemically to oppress the Palestinians.
I think it's one of
there's so many horrible things happening.
I think it's one of the many things that happens under institutionalization, and it happens in America as well, regardless of the same amount of care and consideration being given to those who are incarcerated in America. It's a similar concept. The CARE is the Council on American Islamic Relations, by the way.
Okay.
My dad's part of CARE, the Michigan chapter.
We love CARE.
There you go.
My only problem is that there's like literally no source to this.
I agree that doesn't seem the best. That information is not presented in a very clear way.
But because you're the dude that posted this, that you liked his tweet, use this as a source. And I don't know what this is. It just doesn't seem very, I mean, I don't.
Well, you didn't know what CARE was.
I didn't know what CARE was, but like,
right.
I just came to this. I just typed.
I looked at the website and it didn't look very valid to me, so I don't believe it. What happened to
in the headline that I saw?
Right.
And I got to this page and I tried to do more research about Israeli guards raping Palestinians. I found like another, let's see. There's a tiny, oh no, not this. Frankly, there wasn't much else other than like sporadic, isolated, unconfirmed, kind of nebulous accusations. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying like this.
Have you tried ChatGPTing it? I know you like to do that.
This one article is the only real significant one that I could find. And the dude was arrested.
They do have, one of the...
It's just so nebulous,
one
guys.
One of the reasons as to why it is not as widely reported on is gag orders. You can remove them from time to time, like it happened here, but
there's no evidence for that I'm aware of.
It's not incredibly it's not as incredibly well documented as some of the other things that Amnesty International has access to on the ground.
Okay. It's just, I don't know. It rubbed me wrong a little bit because it's just a big claim to make, and I don't know. Like,
oh, you mean when something is a major claim against a group of people, you want to make sure that it's been accurately investigated? Whoa, that's so weird. That's really bizarre. Wow.
I'm not saying it's not
So
true because the
weird.
IDF is horrible and they do horrible things, but like it's a special kind of evil the way that you describe it. That
That's on the
once
news.
again, I think dehumanizes the Israelis.
Today, a guy who lives in Gaza said that Israelis are raping Palestinian women.
And his
Yes.
sources, a guy in Gaza said this, which again, I just want like one reputable source.
Israelis raping Palestinian women is a well-documented part of Israelis' apartheid apparatus. So that part is not
well documented, isn't true.
Yes. No. I think you're absolutely right. I think I should have used my words more carefully when saying that. It's a comment in passing, and that does have a serious impact. I agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
I think that the partnering of the instance that you just showed, on top of the gag order, on top of the treatment of institutionalized people in general, and the sexual violence that they are subjected to, that is considered legal in both America and everywhere else, due to a lack of getting adequate coverage to their issues.
Your point is that, and the
On top
incarcerated
of
are abused.
On top of that, and on top of that, one thing that is not technically sexual violence, but coercion of a different magnitude is for example, gay Palestinians being blackmailed specifically to become sources of information.
Oh, I haven't read about that.
And things of that nature that still would be.
Don't forget, this happened before the pro-rape riots in Israel. And also, since October 7th, we've had countless videos and TikToks from IDF members excitedly talking about how they love raping people and love raping Palestinian women. Like, you don't even have to believe the fucking women, dude. The thing that you say other people should do, you don't have to do it. You can believe the dudes that are boasting about raping them, dude. This entire podcast, Hassan saying something objectively right and then having to placate Ethan's feelings because he's hurt by facts. Yup. Also, hi,
Factored under
Sean.
that. You're right, though. I should have chosen my words more carefully.
Right, and listen,
and there is. I will present you more information on that as well.
Well, what does that mean?
Like I'll
look into
come
it.
back with
Oh,
more
okay.
information for you.
And again, like everything you're super credible. It was just this one thing. It just rubbed me a little bit wrong. And like, listen, that's it. But I appreciate that you.
No, you're.
Thanks.
I think it's fair.
Okay, thank you.
Christ, dude. I love how his excuse is, yeah, the IDF is horrible and they do horrible shit like kill children, but they're not horrible enough to rape. Yeah, it's so stupid. Anyways, let's get back to this. I think this will be like whiplash, going back to him getting mad that Hassan has the audacity to question the sources that claim there is mass systematic rape against Israelis.
Good point.
What rapes did Hezbollah do, bro? What rapes did fucking Hamas do? What are you talking about?
And I mean, there he kind of said it. He said, somebody brought up Hezbollah rapes, which again, I don't know anything about that. I haven't heard that. I don't know if that's a thing, if that's an accusation. I don't think I've even ever heard the Israeli government. But Hassan takes the prerogative to pivot into actually even Hamas didn't rape
My
anyone.
friend is a huge H3 fan since like Vape Nation stuff and doesn't watch Hassan really, and literally called me to say, what the fuck is Ethan doing? Yeah. So accusations are just facts now. Dude, you can tell that that clip was definitely Hassan showing that he's actually secretly a Hamas member because it's 2 seconds long and it doesn't show what he said right after that.
And there it is. Rape denial, calling women who were raped liars. Makes me wonder, what else are they willing to, what other close-held beliefs are they willing to throw in the dump in the pursuit of fulfilling their dogmatic vision of the world?
Stabby said Hassan got a fruit basket from Hamas, so now I believe that he is in fact Hamas hobby. This is true.
A lot. We're coming up on the end here. Yeah, and one more time. Actually, no, we already did that. I'm going to read a few messages I got that I think were very important and good voices. 19 and 20. Let me read these over real fast. These are ones I shared. Fuck. Wait. Oh, yeah, they're in here. Sorry. I saw them. Fuck. How did I? Shit. Okay, here, down. All right. Almost made it through. But, okay, we got this, guys. We got this. Here's a, and I want, once again, I say,
Strange Manner, thank you for the prime.
I felt like I was battling this war by myself, and literally nobody was backing me up. And it does feel like that sometimes as a Jewish person. And again, with all this conflation between Zionism and anti-Semitism, like imagine being a Jewish student on one of these campuses that's just trying.
He basically just said his life is really hard because everyone says anti-Semitism isn't real. Hassan is very obviously a Hamas agent, and you guys are being really mean to me. Mars, thank you for the 4 months.
Trying to mind their own business and has like a Star David necklace. They're hiding their necklaces, man. Jews do not feel safe because people don't know the fucking difference. And who qualifies somebody to make that distinction? Who has the authority among us to decide who's the good Jew and who's the bad Jew? You know what I mean? Is it the activists? I've seen videos of them at the encampment on these college, and then they go, people are trying to come in and they go, "Are you a Zionist?" Well, what do you mean by that? You know? So this person is going to decide who's the good Jew and who's the bad Jew based on this nebulous statement that means 1,000 different things to 1,000 different
I don't
people.
think he knows what nebulous means, guys.
Without clarifying
I'm
what
starting to think he doesn't know.
It's bleeding right into anti-Semitism. It is. And the thing is that they're fully convinced themselves that they're not anti-Semitic. And that's why making this...
Pepe to Soviet levels of deranged.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's no good Jews and bad Jews, okay? There are dumb fucks and people who aren't dumb fucks. I'm sorry to tell you, Ethan. You could be any religion, skin color, ethnicity, race. You'd still be a dumb fuck, okay? Has nothing to do with being a bad Jew or a good Jew. Has everything to do with being an annoying dumb fuck.
This conversation is so fucking difficult is because the Zionism excuse is perfect cover. It's perfect cover. It really is. All right, let me read this comment. We're almost done, I promise. Has this been going longer than I thought? I don't know how long we've been going.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
We're at 2 hours.
Oh, shit. It's 2 hours of me just doing this?
No, total.
Okay.
So started at
I'm almost done.
1.5 hours.
I saw finally some messages of support that made me feel like not totally alone. And I was so grateful of people who were coming and speaking out. And I just said, I want to thank you guys for your support this morning. It genuinely feels sometimes I am totally alone, constantly being gaslit by my own fans.
I like how he's reading his own Instagram stories, being like, well, Dan, pull up image 5 from folder 79, category 4. Ah, yes, this one. Oh, well. So I posted this late last night now when I was having a fit of sadness. Thank you guys for your support this morning. Like,
and I shouldn't care about rising anti-Semitism. It's not real and it doesn't matter. You know, funny how anti-Zionists are so quick to explain how Zionism and Judaism. When I complain about anti-Semitism, they say, but what about Israel, etc., whatever. I've already said that point 1,000 times. I guess so. Then there's one more here. Download. Thank you. We love it. Thank you so much. This was a statement from a Jewish individual who left a comment on the subreddit, which I'll read for you here. Being a Jew has been harder than I've ever experienced this year, not just in this community, but in general. I've lost lifelong friends simply because I'm Jewish. If you think that's a joke, it's not. My brother's best friend. My brother is like mega liberal. Like he is like the what he wouldn't What
Take
he
your
wouldn't
time.
concede is that he didn't want to destroy Israel. And one of his lifelong friends literally stopped talking to him and called him Zionist, genocide supporter and stuff. My brother. This shit is happening to every Jew across the country. And I encourage you, part of the propaganda that is really fucked is this notion that like there's the majority of Jews are anti-Zionist and don't care about it at all. And therefore, that's why you're not anti-Semitic. I encourage you guys to talk to your Jewish friends, to talk to the Jewish people close to you.
Progressive except Palestine. Classic. Won't someone please think of the mega liberals who are suffering? It's astonishing to realize that Ethan Klein did all this instead of picking up one singular book by a Jewish scholar on Palestine. Men, Ethan Klein will make a whole ass manifesto before going to therapy or reading a fucking book. Yeah, I mean, I think the internet has rotted Ethan Klein's brain so bad that I don't even know if he could read anymore.
And ask them. Because 90% of Jews in America, by the definition of most of these activists, would probably fall under the label of Zionists. And they see people wishing them death all the time, social media, in real life. I have a friend who lives in Silver Lake.
Let me read the actual post. It was posted in his subreddit. It says, the last year being Jewish, being a Jew has been harder than I've ever experienced this year. Not just in this community, but in general. I've had long life friends I've lost lifelong friends simply because I'm Jewish. A Reddit post where the person writing it is the victim. Am I the asshole? I did absolutely nothing wrong, and now everyone hates me. Can you believe it? Okay, let's keep going. Oh, God. Ethan, Neil, I hope you guys know that there are so many people who love and support you, who look up to you, both for standing up to the insane amounts of anti-Semitism we're all facing. We look to you guys to feel less alone, and we do, but it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to feel. A portion of this community has gone to complete shit, and it's so scary to see. Specifically, the crossover between us and Hassan's community. Seeing seeing Ethan's Instagram stories right now literally made my stomach drop. Nobody who isn't Jewish understands or even cares. At least that's what it feels like. I'm not speaking about Zionism, Israel, Palestine, or anything related to any of that. I'm speaking about being Jewish. Every time I see a TikTok and someone says they're Jewish or wearing a Star of David necklace, people just know they're Jewish. Or people just know that they're Jewish, but the video has nothing to do with it. Every comment says Zionist or Free Palestine or genocide supporter or terrorist. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't go on TikTok, so I don't know if this is true. If this is true, that feels bad, man. What I will say is a good friend of the channel, Illymation, has talked about being Jewish. Surprise, surprise, she's very progressive. Surprise, surprise, she doesn't receive any comments calling her a fucking Zionist. It's almost like people don't associate Zionism with Judaism. Crazy, I know. Insane, I know. Are there going to be anti-Semitic comments? 100%, of course. If you're on the internet and you're Jewish, people are going to be anti-Semitic towards you. I mean, if you just exist in the real world. People are going to. But that is not the same as that group of people that are choosing to be anti-Semitic is a different group of people than the ones that criticize you for supporting the state of Israel and supporting the genocide in Gaza. Those are different. Those are different groups, dude. Also, I'm so sorry, dude, but there's like a 50-50 this post is being made by the funniest Hassan fan. There's a 50-50, okay? That this is the funniest Hassan fan being like, dude, I can't wait. Dude, Ethan Klein's gonna post this on his Instagram story. How do I make it believable? My life is really hard. Seeing those Instagram stories made my stomach drop. Oh, yeah. Time to wait and get my payout. User is named individual AD6627. Okay.
Like or somewhere, and there's like, you know, constant there's like a static protest there of just like death to Zionists and all this kinds of stuff, and he's walking outside his door, walking through that every day. He doesn't feel, you know, you feel some type of way. I would like to break through that stigma. Please, genuinely ask the Jewish people in your life how they're feeling about what's happening and listen to them. And I don't think it's going to line up with what people like Hassan are telling you.
I like how we're just ignoring what Jewish people have said.
I've lost lifelong friends simply because I'm Jewish. Ethan Yell, I hope you guys know that there are so many people who love and support you and who look up to both you for standing up to the insane amount of anti-Semitism we're all facing. Dude, my throat is so fucked. Can I get some throat goat?
All right.
God damn it. Ugh. I'm hot. Hold on, let me take my hoodie off. I'm throated. Full-throated. Oh, that? I was thinking like tea, but I'll take that. I'll fuck with that. Yeah,
Bro on 10 HP and still want to hate.
Or throat spray. This shit, does that shit work? Oh, for real? Okay, I'm gonna coat through my. I'm gonna fuck my throat with this, Dan. I think I'm getting sicker. I feel feverish.
Oh, great.
Dude, the hate is literally making him sick.
I'm getting all worked up.
Yeah, I think that just numbs your throat, right?
That's not gonna. Maybe it'll help me get through the end of this.
Don't get it on your tongue.
Safe for the family, ages 3. Open up, Sonny.
Okay.
This shit seems so weird. All right. Is this your thing? You do this? Oh, it tastes like hospital. How much do you spray it? Let me read the instructions. I never do that.
Take a swig of it.
I would.
I'm not gonna read
Light affected area 1 spray. Allow it to stay in place 15 seconds and spit out.
See, I think this exact thing has happened before.
Wait, I think that's a thing. People don't know that. I think everyone swallows it.
Well, if you're gonna spray it in your throat,
That really is just like such a good depiction of Ethan Klein. Does something against the instruction, is wrong, claims everyone else must think the same way that he does, and does exactly what he does. It's just beautiful, dude. It's like, really. What a beautiful representation of this entire video.
but I don't get how you would possibly spit it out.
And it tastes sweet.
They spit. This exact thing has happened before. I'm 100% sure of it. Someone clip it.
How do I spit that out? There's nothing left. It went down my throat.
Ugh, I don't want these sound effects, dude.
Swallowing it
Come
was
on.
way worse and grosser. Now it's all over my.
All right, skip ahead. Skip.
He spirit cooks with whale heads and baby
Brown liquid that they spit out of their mouths.
This.
Okay,
year,
back to him
not just
being a crybaby. Let's see.
in this community, but in general, I've lost lifelong friends simply because I'm Jewish. Ethan Yell, I hope you guys know that there's so many people who love and support you and who look up to both of you for standing up to the insane amount of anti-Semitism we're all facing. We look to you guys to feel less alone, and we do. But it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to feel. A portion of this community has gone to complete shit, and it's so scary to see. Specifically with crossover between us and Hassan's community. Seeing Ethan's Instagram stories
So
right now
funny,
literally
dude.
made my stomach drop. Nobody who isn't Jewish understands.
My favorite part about this post is it doesn't actually describe anything that's actually happened to this person. It's just, I've seen stuff online that has made me sad. Huh? The last year being Palestinian. I don't give a fuck what happens to those people. My life is, I'm really sad about some things that I see online, okay? We should be talking about my issues.
or even cares. At least that's what it feels like. And I have to agree. This is
literally a bait post and he fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Somebody's laughing their ass off that he fell for this shit.
You know, sometimes, a lot of times, how it feels, you know, when I'm talking about anti-Semitism and my supposed friend goes on stream and says, like, well, you know, that's not really a problem. It doesn't happen, essentially, is what he's saying. It doesn't happen. Everybody knows that's wrong. Nobody would be anti-Semitic. Nobody would dare. I'm off X completely, but the most popular fucking accounts on X that I'm seeing now is just straight up Jewish conspiracy theories.
I mean, yeah, everybody's known that. Everyone's been calling it the Nazi website for fucking forever. Also, yeah, as you guys already pointed out, Hassan has never said anti-Semitism doesn't exist.
Just vile fucking shit. Dan Blazarian, this one UFC fighter, this guy is such an idiot. And you can be the dumbest nobody and just post the most god-awful anti-Zionist or just full-on Jewish.
No, the shit on Twitter, I wouldn't even call it anti-Zionist. The shit on Twitter is like straight up just Nazi shit. It's like, I will straight up see posts that are like, I think Jewish people are evil and they're controlling everything. We should get rid of them. It's like, okay, all right. Elon, do you want to ban this account? We investigated the page, Jews Control the World 88, and found they did nothing wrong. Thank you for your report. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I didn't realize they didn't do anything wrong. I must have been the wind, I guess. Straight up anti-Semitism on Twitter. There's no question about it.
Conspiracy and hate. And these posts are getting hundreds of thousands of likes. I know it's Twitter and Twitter's in real life and I'm off Twitter, but it's hard not to be affected by that.
Elon Musk going to comment, looking into this, concerning.
And I mean, let's be real. If that was targeting whatever group you might be a part of, yeah, I don't think you'd be so quick to tell people it doesn't matter. No, they're not Blazarian. There's another UFC guy who's like so evil.
God, what is this?
He's an ugly motherfucker. He's just evil as hell.
Yeah. Okay.
He all hate and shut the fuck up. And frankly, that's how I felt when Hassan made that video saying Frogan's fears are valid and Ethan's are not. And that trickles down pretty much to the whole internet. That's nice.
Literally, Hassan didn't say that, but okay.
This is 20. And this is a really good statement from an Israeli leftist. I thought this was very good. This is right on, man. This is so good. Fuck. All right. As a Jew, is there even room for conversation with you people? Using the fact that subreddit is being bombarded by pro-Palestine, quote unquote, to ask this. I'm Israeli. Born and raised, grew up secular Jewish, quickly became atheist, left-wing, very active activist, always have been from a very young age. I must say, ever since I started seeing the shit that Ethan and Eli are enduring, I asked myself, is there even room for us in the left-wing conversation? Israelis who want peace, who act for peace, who dedicated their lives to the cause of ending the conflict, does anyone in the left care about these people? Clearly not, seeing what American Jews who don't even have any association with Israel, with the conflict have to deal with. Like, I get the fuck Israel sentiment. Probably get it better than any outsider commenting on the conflict, and I do not feel like a victim. But the fact that even someone like Ethan is generalized under the same sentiment brings up a big question. Do people who support this sort of behavior even care about the conflict's resolution? Those of you who read all this, who aren't radical but do not understand why anti-Zionism ideology, such as the one that's being employed against Ethan, don't you see that's generalizing as any Israeli right-winger who voted and supports for our godforsaken government with the sentiment of fuck Hamas, fuck Gaza? Like what?
Sorry, but I feel like I have to pull it up again. The mileage on this meme is crazy. This one? I just hate that you're making me right-wing. Ugh. I hate that I'm becoming right-wing because of what you're saying and doing. It's so I'm just so bullied that I feel like I have to
As a
become.
progressive who happens to just be left on everything except this issue. Yeah, I totally believe this.
I got a 30 months nerd with the beanie. Okay, dude. All right, sure, man.
Like what about the constant streams of many videos and photos of 400,000 plus civilians demonstrating in Tel Aviv and across the country for a ceasefire? What about the 2 years leading up to October 7th, where Israel was in constant government limbo because half the country keeps voting to have a Nazi in charge? Sound familiar, America? Good point. And half the country sees his win as the end of their lives, and they know it, which literally did happen for a lot of people. At times it felt, and still does, as if we are on the verge of a civil war. Does all that count to you people demonizing Zionists, or do you just want to watch the videos that enforce your hatred? I wrote this in a comment. It was responded with similar what about? Of what about everything that's happening in Gaza or has been happening in Palestine since the foundation of Israel and the heinous happenings of the Nakba? I say we should talk about all that. You know where we talk about it? In the fucking demonstrations in Israel, where we demonstrate against our government, screaming our lungs out, getting beaten by police, lighting fires, block roads, and spend every day of the last year plus. If you read about it, you'll see the demonstrations have been going nonstop for more than 3 years, and honestly fighting with more and more of our loved ones in order to say, this needs to stop now. Sorry, my throat is just... I think it made it worse. As a bystander with his feet on the ground, wiki feet on the ground, I can say from my viewpoint, nothing radicalized the Israeli public more than the inability of the American and global left to include any fucking Israelis in the left conversation. This is a point that I'm so glad is being brought up. Like when Jews see this stuff, it's really hurting. It really radicalizing people. You know, and it's pushing everyone away from each other, and just
Guys,
a really fucking.
I can't help that I'm just becoming such a right winger, and then I just suddenly my Israel particles. Oh my God, they're rising. Because you guys are just being so mean.
In terrible way. As if that is the way to achieve any solution. As if generalizations aren't good only so far. If you ask me,
dude.
This is the most extreme case of the left eating itself I've ever seen in my life. Literally, with its own activism, radicalizing and alienating people of Israel, so that we now not only hear any lefty's a traitor in here, which has been going on for years, but also every fence sitter that has ever existed knows that they would be naive forever believing the world doesn't hate us, and if they do it, it must be because of anti-Semitism. Oh. Interesting. Never heard that one before. And then when I see what happens to Ethan, I'm baffled. Maybe they're right. Maybe it's all anti-Semitism. Maybe the crazy Passover songs from my childhood were right. And in every generation, they do come for us. Don't actually think so. But I do see that even an American Jew who's arguably recused his Israeli wife from the fate of being born in this death-stained, horrible Holy Land, who donated $1,000 to a Palestinian organization, is constantly and maliciously being harassed online for being a Zionist. Do you think people who do that have any desire to have a conversation or an understanding or, God forbid, a positive effect on anything that they actually happen in the Middle East? Or are they all just looking around online for any public personality they know who was forced to have a bar mitzvah or has any association with the Star of David so they can use their new favorite K-word synonym? This is something that I really was trying to get across to Hassan when we first started talking about this. Like, I felt like I needed him to come connect with me at least a little bit. And the thing is, like, now he...
Dude, this is such a fuck you to Hassan, straight up. That... Hassan tried so hard to extend so many olive branches, and in honestly Israeli fashion. Very ironic. Ethan just burned them to the ground is crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy to me.
He's full-blown denying rapes. And, you know, it's like, I don't know. Here's another one. And this is the last one. I'm reading this once again. People are trying to obfuscate that, like, oh, this isn't like a Hassan's community thing. I mean, I don't know how else to convince. It is. It is. I might have to leave Hassan's sub. Might get hate for this, but I just want to say that I'm leaving Hassan's community. The struggle between him and Ethan has been hard for me, as I understand it's been for a lot of people. And like I emphasized,
I can't believe he thinks these are real posts. Nobody uses Hassan's subreddit. Come on. Hassan doesn't have subreddit users. He's got like 2 of them. Okay, come on, be real.
that you guys were able to enjoy us both. And again, I'm not asking you to pick sides, and there's nothing wrong for you, a continued support of Hassan after this. No judgment on my part. In fact, like I said, there's still a road to us becoming friendly down the line. It's possible. For a long time, my beliefs align more with Hassan than Ethan, but I stay with H3 because his show is more than politics. At this point, though, Hassan's followers are honestly so far detached from reality, I can't stay. So many of them are trying to stand for what's right, which is good, but they only see black and white. Nothing in life works like that.
The reason why this is so obviously fake, in case anyone is confused or unsure or doesn't know what I'm talking about, all of Hassan's Redditor fans stopped watching him when he decided that he would amplify Palestinian voices after October 7th. There are no more Hassan Redditor fans. He lost all of them. People made fun of him for it when, after years of calling Hassan a grifter, who just does what people want to hear and says what people want to hear. And then he lost like a third of his audience because he had the audacity to try and amplify Palestinian voices after October 7th. All of his Redditor fans, every single one of them, was like, I can't watch this guy. He's a fucking terrorist sympathizer. The idea that one of them was still around and like this was the final straw for them is a joke. Like, it's so obviously fucking stupid. And if you fall for this, man, like, dude, I don't even know what to say. I'm surprised you're like legally allowed to operate a vehicle, man. Yes, Aaron, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you for the gift sub to Betelgeuse.
That there's always gray areas. There's always nuance. Ethan can acknowledge that what Israel is doing is wrong while still acknowledging the pain his people are facing. Hassan's community can't seem to see that there are 2 sides and that the other side are still people, even if they are wrong in their opinions. Well, I don't think, like, I'm not supporting the Israeli government. I can't follow any ideology that blindly. I don't know what the solution for the war is. I'm not a professional in any area that would have any weight in these matters, as I am sure much of Hassan's community is the same. Yes, I have opinions, but I'm always open to hearing others and learning more. I refuse to be part of a community who think their way is the only way and then choose to degrade anyone who doesn't think the same. It's a shame because I've learned so much from watching Hassan, but I can't take the hate anymore. So, I mean, I heard that Hassan...
Wormy is protesting. She's protesting this content right now.
Hassan Mods implemented a no more Ethan post. I mean, for the past year, since October 7th, his subreddit has been essentially a second snark subreddit, just dedicated to obsessively hating me for everything I...
So I wanted to actually see something really quickly. Namely, his own subreddit. We'll get to the snark subreddit in a second. But before we get to that, his own subreddit, the Graveyard of Deleted Comments, I wanted to look at this Instagram post that he made. I actually still haven't seen it. I wanted to watch it with you guys.
My last 2 attempts got canned. I don't know how the chat moderation works. How is the Yemeni kid not connected to the Houthis, and does it even matter if he was? Not only does it not matter to me if he was or not, it would obviously change the dynamic of the interview if he was, but he is not. They turned Galaxy into a fucking tourist destination. Are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean? Excuse me. Of course I'm about to have a... I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism.
What? Google, what is sarcasm? Google, what is sarcasm? Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, now that I've seen what that post looks like, I feel comfortable making this post. Other people have screenshotted it. Ethan, for the love of God, take your meds. At this point, you're just having a mental health episode in public. Let's play hide and seek. I will hide and you will seek profession. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing back this meme. Ethan needs to ask ChatGPT what is a joke to research this. VT experiments. Thank you for the 23 months. Thanks. Hassan, famous for being a journalist. Yeah, Christ, dude. Oh my God. All right, let's try and finish this up before I lose my fucking marbles.
I do. I don't know if you guys have been there, but so they've enacted a no Ethan a rule unless it's like directly.
And I will now be leaving this community, even though I will be subbed at the top of the hour. I will not be here. As with most things, this will go over your head. DNM balls, DNM list standards. I will still do merc work for Mayor Cat because his money is still good.
Related to Hassan or something like that, which, you know, is probably a good step towards trying to prevent the nonstop onslaught of harassment that I get from his maniacs in his audience. You know, and even as I type this to you guys now, should I?
Denims, don't you ever worry that you spend too much time watching people you despise? Well, I have like a love-hate relationship with a lot of the people that I don't like online. Because I'm a very like glass half full person. And I'm actually very not terminally online. I'm like a gamer. Okay, guys? So I'll go over the second one and then the first one. First of all, when today, my plan is I'm going to stop streaming when I finish doing all the coverage that I want to do. And then I'm going to go hang out with a friend, do a little photo shoot, and then I'm going to come back home and I'm going to play Valorant, probably for like hours with some friends. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to look at any of this stuff until tomorrow morning with you guys. And I'm going to enjoy my Valorant games and we're going to make fun of people on Valorant. Dude, I'm still pretty new to Valorant. I didn't immediately plant the spike. We won the round, just to be clear. And there were 4 of us. And then the fifth person typed in chat, 4 to plant the spike. Have you tried playing the tutorial? And my friends went in on this person so hard. They were eating shit. I was top fragging and they were eating shit. They were bottom fragging. And they were like, I don't know if you should be talking when you're bottom fragging. And then they were standing by a spike and they didn't plant it. And they're like, four to plant the spike, 4 to plant the spike. And they bullied this person so hard they stopped talking in PC. They mocked the fuck out of this person. But like, to be fair, they started going in first. Okay, that's deserved. Okay, if you're gonna be toxic and you're gonna be toxic to other people are allowed to be toxic back to you. All right. Is this a knife? No, this is a nail file. I'm just stimming. Anyways, that's fun for me. Someone else tries to talk shit and they don't realize what type of fight they're getting into. Very good. Very fun. So that's what I do in my personal time. I spend only the time that I'm on stream, I spend doing this shit, okay? Second, I have a love-hate relationship with covering this stuff because on the one hand, I hate looking at it because it makes me lose brain cells. But on the other hand, it makes me laugh really hard because I know he's so terminally online and so addicted to the internet, he probably watches all of my streams. And then I imagine him watching this and watching thousands of people be very based in chat and be like, dude, this guy's fucking stupid. And I'm like, and then I know it causes him torment. And I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Ethan. Oh, God. So, yeah, I'm a toxic gamer, guys, okay? I'm a toxic gamer. I think it's hard not to see the positives in life, all right? Namely, other people that suck and are very annoying, making their lives worse, all right? Oh, Jesus. So that's actually how I haven't become insane just yet. That's how. I mean, how much must it suck to be Ethan Klein, to watch other people stream about you, to watch other people make videos about you, to see it all get clipped on this subreddit that you stalk, filled with people who don't like you anymore, and everyone in here being very normal. No one in here typing anti-Semitic shit. It's a bunch of people saying, I really would miss when he used to do this to right-wingers. I really miss when he used to be not cringe. And you're seeing hundreds of messages from people who are very fucking normal saying, dude, you just need to be able to take the criticism sometimes, man. No one's trying to be anti-Semitic to you. We're ex-fans. We used to give you money for years. And you're being insane right now. You're being weird. Like, so anyways, yeah. Let's finish this up. I don't know if this is worth looking at, but he's talking about the Snark subreddit. I wanted to take a peek at it, and then if it's cringe and boring, I wanted to quickly watch the his Instagram stories, and then we could watch the Tesson reaction. And then I know he's gonna keep posting about this on his Instagram for like another 5 weeks minimum, but this might be one of the end of one chapter at least. So let's go.
I mentioned the thing that we talked about.
The ones being anti-Semitic are quickly shot down too. Yeah, because anti-Semitism is not allowed in here. There'll be like maybe a few a month that will come in and say some crazy anti-Semitic shit and be like, oh yeah, but did you know that the Jews? And they get banned immediately, and everyone types looking and ats them. It's almost like anti-Semitism isn't cool because bigotry isn't cool. I don't know. It's whoa, wild, right?
About before the show, like that. Is that I feel like I should, but this unrelated to Hassan. Yeah, so there's something really disgusting happening right now, and I have zero recourse, okay? On the Snark subreddit, the top post right now is dedicated to identifying and harassing non-public Teddy Fresh employees. It's on the front page. It has, last I checked, it had 500 upvotes, and it's been seen by the mods. And every time we report a post like this, we get punished. Which, once again, we have no recourse. Like, this is not okay, what's happening. The reason I bring it up is because in the comments, it's all like, do these people know they work for Zionists? How do these people work for Zionists? And that's part of the reason they're being targeted and part of the harassment.
Okay, I want to see these posts
that they're receiving. So, like, this whole thing is connected. The whole Snark, the Snark page that's blown up since October 7th, people really didn't give a fuck that much about it before then. But now it's like this vibrant community of people that are obsessed with Zionism for some reason. And a lot comes back to that. I don't know how Reddit allows this. I really don't. It's fucking sickening. Let me show you. I'll even say it. Fuck it. There is one admin called Quiet Fairy, okay, who is...
Oh shit, dude, he knows the admin names, dude. Oh my god. Wait, the post in question that's pinned is apparently just talking about. This has been around way before October 7th. A senior designer for Teddy Fresh Instagram liked the exact same garment that they knocked off from Ashley Williams London for Teddy Fresh. This has been something that people have talked about for forever. I remember people talking about this years ago, and I remember Ethan and Hila defending it by saying, oh, somebody else makes the designs, not us. Our bad. This is old news. This has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. We're like attacking people wearing Teddy Fresh. What? I wish I could see the actual, like, the picture of the design, but it doesn't show up in this. Oh, here it is. Yeah, like, what? Maybe he's going to show us something else that I haven't seen. I don't fucking... Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give enough of a fuck in my personal time to be scrolling through subreddits like this. I can't believe he does this with his free time.
Blocked us, punished us, and stopped us at every turn to try to stem the flow. My brain is fried. To try to stem the flow of nonstop terms violating harassment. And we're at a dead end. We're completely powerless to these people. They can talk about whatever they're showing this, but
are you going to show it?
Wait, this guy's still on Twitter?
Yeah, he's going to show it. It's just this post. This is not anti-Semitism, dude. This is not like trying to stop your workflow and stop your cash flow. This is something that has been around, like I said, for years. This criticism of Teddy Fresh that it steals designs has been around for years. Sorry, but the name is Stila Klein. Okay. Very funny. Very funny. Honestly, it's maybe a little out of pocket, but it did kind of eat, okay? Now we just need to find out how to prove that this is Hassan's fault.
Because he doesn't hate Jews. That's great. Super believe you. I guess just link it to me. I don't need to fucking browse this shithole. It's in the doc.
Rat hole.
You can talk louder. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It's pinned at the top of their subreddit? Oh my God. Oh, so it's even worse than...
Also, the best part about this, if you go and look at this fucking Reddit user, sorry for looking at your history, Reddit user, they're like a fucking normal person. They posted this to a legal advice 23 hours ago. Then they posted this H3 snark stuff 2 days ago and replied to some of the comments. And then the last time they replied was 2 months ago. And then they went into the ketamine subreddit. Amen. Average UKer. Listen, they're literally British, okay? They don't have anything else to do up there. What, fucking stare at marshes? Come on, be real. All right. And then they post in the House of Dragon subreddit. The astrology subreddit. Like, this isn't even an insane person. Like, this is just the average British person. Like, he's pretending like the people that post in here are like deranged haters that stalk his every move. Meanwhile, it's just like, hey, I saw this. This is fucking weird that they just steal designs and they don't respond to the criticisms about this. Shocker. Wow, it's so weird.
And I thought,
bruv.
It's pinned. So the mods...
Denims, stop trying to normalize the British. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You're right.
No, it's not.
I can't find it. I saw it before the show.
Oh, they erased it? Yeah. We reported it and we were trying to...
Oh, I meant to show this earlier. Sorry, I have to show it now. All of the posts that he was showing in his subreddit of the people being like, I'm becoming a right-winger because of all of the anti-Semitism online. And by anti-Semitism online, I mean people saying Israel shouldn't bomb brown people indiscriminately. Those people, I can't stop thinking about this TikTok in reference to those people. The text says, being a CIA agent 50 years ago.
Castro's in for the
Wait.
surprise of his life. Castro's in for the surprise of his life when he tries signing something with my poison pen. What?
Being a CIA agent today.
Well, what have Palestinians done for the Black Lives Matter movement?
Sorry. I'm fucking dying. Oh, that's all I can think of when I'm reading people in his subreddit being like, leftists have turned me into a right-winger. Link, please. Oh, yeah, here you go. Sorry. For anyone who missed it, I'll play it a second time just for you guys, okay? Just says being a CIA agent 50 years ago versus being a CIA agent today.
Castro's in for the surprise of his life when he tries signing something with my poison pen. Well, what have Palestinians done for the Black Lives Matter movement?
Oh, God. Okay, all right. All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Dominion voting machines are flipping votes. We're still doing this. Was it not enough that Fox got a giant lawsuit for millions of dollars? Do you guys? I don't understand this Titan, dude. I really don't. I mean, sure, dude, sure. Talk to Alex Jones about doing things that put you in terrible positions. I think that that's a good idea.
Tax someone at Reddit.
Back to
and
this.
We're trying our best because, like, our employees at Teddy Fresh who are non-public do not fucking deserve to deal with these types of people. It's just so maybe someone got to them. I don't know, but Snark Docs backup. What is this, love?
It's a PDF of the whole page. I said I prefer the show.
Oh, nice. So they're calling out by name. I don't want to show his name. They're calling out by name, linking his Pinterest, accusing him of plagiarism, which is dumb and stupid. Obviously, this is her favorite thing. And linking directly how to harass him. A mod here even has stickied a post further context, giving so the mods are here and they're co-signing it. In fact, it was pinned as far as I know before it was erased.
If you look on this PDF on the top right, you see the green pin top right.
Yeah, you're right. So what happened? It's like, is it pinned or is it erased?
It's unpinned and locked.
Oh, it's not erased.
It's unpinned and locked.
It's unpinned and locked. Okay, well, good. I'm glad we have this. So let's see, they're harassing her. They're looking up their socials, and then they looked up another one of our employees. Showed her name, her job at TF. They showed a post of her talking about the war in Gaza and supporting the people of Gaza and criticizing the Israeli military. And then people are.
Is it? Sorry, am I wrong? Am I incorrect about this? Is it wrong to call out the staff that works on merch that is stealing designs? If that's what's happening, is that bad to do? I feel like that's actually anti-Semitism. I mean, isn't it stealing a design seems pretty bad? No, I don't know. If it's like a random staff they don't know, yeah, but calling out people that are actually involved is fine. That's what I think, right? And also, they literally fired the last person who did steal designs. Also, wouldn't that, like, I don't know. I feel like if I was Ethan Klein, I would want the names of the people who actually are acting in bad faith and ruining my brand and ruining my, like, brand name. I would want to know their names so I can confront them and be like, did you actually fucking steal that? Did you actually steal that design? Because if you did, I have to fire you. I'm sorry. I can't have people on the team that just are ripping designs. Like, that's bad. I would want to know about those people. So I don't, it doesn't matter. I don't even know if that's what actually is happening or who's being doxxed or whatever, but okay. I also don't know what this has to do with Hasan or Ethan Klein or fucking any of this shit.
Said, oh, we need to do, let's see, do they know that they work for a Zionist? You see that? And they say, she's definitely getting fired and whatever. Doubt Ethan knows he'd be on his story raging. Shut the fuck up, dumbass. And then here's another post with two people's names, their Pinterest, their IDs. They're literally making it their point to target and harass non-public people. This has to be against Reddit terms of service. It has to be. And it's a long pile of stuff that they've just continually fucking do. And it's all fueled by the reason I bring it up now is part of the same fucking flame of crazy Zionist hatred and this catch-all term that's being deployed against pretty much every fucking Jew. And, you know, when you convince yourself that you're up against Nazis, you can pretty much justify doing anything to them. We grew our whole lives
Oh, no.
believing like the Nazis were the worst. They're just plain evil. And you can only imagine, you know, what we would have done to a Nazi, that just pure. And so we all grew up with that, this perfect idea of evil. Now the left has, you know, perpetuated this idea that.
I mean, if someone is calling themselves a Nazi and saying and doing Nazi shit, yeah, you don't need to have any sympathy for them. What? What?
Zionism is Nazism. Except, wait, what is Zionism? Okay, well, everyone has a different opinion. It means all these different things. These people, they say, I'm anti-Zionist, and they're giving themselves all the freedom, all the permission they need to do the worst things imaginable to these people. It's fucking insane. It's disgusting. I hate it. These people are sick, and Reddit is complicit, and Twitch is complicit. Like, I just don't understand what the fuck's happening. Am I just powerless to stop people being non-public people being fucking bombarded?
Who's he trying to get Twitch to ban? Does he want Twitch to ban Hasan? Is that what he's saying? And I don't.
I do. You know, is this not targeted harassment? That can't be normal. Pinned on their front page. I don't know what to fucking make of all this shit.
Also, Reddit is like the most pro-Zionist social media. It's totally complicit anti-Zionism. It's just bombarded as ironic. Everyone else is wrong. I must be right.
Sick. And
this is crazy,
that's why I bring
man.
It up.
Fuck.
And honestly, I don't really have a lot more to say about it. I'm sure I missed something because this was all fucking messy. There's a lot more I would say about Hasan, but I try my best to keep it only to like the most like straightforward, in my opinion, irrefutable points, which is that this Houthi kid is a fucking terrorist. He shouldn't be glorified, okay? And that the Houthis are terrorists who should not be glorified, okay? And that Hasan, even though I don't believe he's anti-Semitic, is he's causing a lot of pain and trouble in the world for people.
His latest post show that he wants Hasan banned. Wow, dude. This is crazy.
Jewish people. I think so.
And he also wants H3 Snark to be banned. He went so far as to make an H3 Snark sub to go after the Snark. Dude, he needs to seek professional help, man. Sometimes people will send me videos of like haters who make like 5-hour dissertations on why Denims is super evil or some crazy shit. And I look at the video and then I laugh my ass off. And I'm like, I'm not watching this shit. Like I'm living rent free in some people's houses. Like just totally rent free in their brains. They have so much real estate they're willing to give to me for free. I'm not wasting my time. Just because they wasted their time doesn't mean I'm going to waste my time. Are you fucking kidding me? All right. Squatters' rights. Yeah. Yeah. And I've always said, I'm always open to criticism, and I'm always open to especially constructive criticism. And if there are people in the community who feel that I cover something in a poor way, or if I say something that is disrespectful or anything like that, please email me. My email is open. Please fucking DM me. My DMs are open, and I don't want to engage in bad behavior. I don't want to say things that hurt other people. And if you have lived experiences or information that I don't have, I would love to know more, right? But I'm not going to give a fuck about what I believe haters think. Like, they're fucking haters. For him to spend this much time, he believes the H3 Snark subreddit exists just to be anti-Ethan Klein. Why would you spend your free time looking at that? That's fucking stupid. What a waste of your fucking time. That's so dumb. Why not listen to the people in your community who literally give you money, who like and respect you? Why don't you listen to those people who criticize you in a way that is totally acceptable? Why not those people? Because those are the people I listen to. Because I think if you are a fan of the show, or you like this channel, or you like what's on here, I do want to hear what your opinion is. I think I have an obligation to the community to listen to what you guys have to say. Haters, who gives a fuck about those people? That's fine. That's you fucking fuck off, okay? That's totally fine. But he's not even listening to his own community, his own fans that fucking have been watching him for like years. He won't even listen to those people. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. He absolutely wrote those snark posts himself. I read a little bit. I can't imagine sitting down and writing all that as a man with a wife and kids. Dude. So bizarre, dude. Mass infiltration. This is a huge conspiracy. It goes all the way to the top. Hassan Piker. Don't you mean Hamas, Abi? Oh, man. Jesus. I do hope Ethan takes a break and gets the help he needs. I knew their podcast ended. I saw clips of his debate with Hassan. I had no idea how bad it all got. Yeah. I actually like do feel bad for him. Like, genuinely, I actually do feel bad for him. And I really do hope he takes like a break. Because this is like, it's not good for anyone. And it's definitely not good for him. It's just not. It's not good for your fucking brain to sit there staring at hate messages and reading this garbage that is just insulting you, right? Instead of listening to the people who are willing to talk to you. Like Hassan was willing to talk to him about a lot of things. But hey, man, he wants to burn bridges. Let him burn bridges. Fucking go for it. Yeah, thank you for who linked this. Thank you for the person who linked this. Sir Digby Toboggan. Thank you. Thank you for linking this. It's a good gallery of comments on the podcast yesterday. Canceling memberships and telling a 39-year-old father of 3 to learn how to brush his teeth properly. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm not like great with YouTube and stuff. I'm better with Twitch, but the little icon shows that that's a member, which is the equivalent of a sub on Twitch, from my understanding. AKA, like, you pay some subscription price. And the little icon is like the equivalent of a sub badge. All these people are paying members who want to support his content. And here's what they have to say. Let me zoom out a little bit. Man, I hate fucking Reddit, dude. I hate the way Reddit posts look. I need Fanamies to be a thing. Fans who kind of hate on the show but watch it anyway to call in and give criticism and argue with H3. Horrible episode. Ethan's clearly had a rough week and the show was super low energy. Oh, look, the comments are turned on in this episode. Remember when Ethan spent an entire segment mocking Hassan because a crazy murderer wore one of his t-shirts or something? Oh, well, that's a pot shot. I haven't seen much of that in reverse from Hassan. Hassan's actually been kind of a class act, I'm not going to lie. I think I'm becoming a hater. I'm resisting with all my might. My ADHD can't handle never getting through a subject and constant pausing. This is average Denims, man. Sorry. Like, please, with peace and love, fix your issues before being late to live stream. Sorry about your gums. Maybe just play the video as you fix it or something. Anything. Man. Headband gang also commenting here that people should check out Hassan's response to yesterday's episodes, and the comments on that podcast are turned off. Peace in our time. Turn on the comments to your last podcast. You said it many times yourself over the years, watching and paying, that content creators can't do that. So why can't I say something, especially as a paying member? Like if you canceled your sub and membership after yesterday's episode. I love you so much, crew. I'm sad to have canceled my membership. Seriously, it feels like I'm grieving. This pod has been so huge for me for the last 5, pushing 6 years. I've spent at least 10 hours a week watching you guys. Just the Insta stories and running around to attack Hassan is not something I can understand. I hope it can bring you peace, Ethan, but I'm betting this was just another beef that won't be squashed without some serious internal reflection. Good luck to you. Please no hate. I just want to say I'm someone who's been around since Vape Nation. I just canceled my membership yesterday. I'm still a member for a few weeks, I guess, and I hate that the whole crew suffers from a decrease in membership, but it seems like I'm not the only one waiting for Ethan to level up again. I love you all, and this feels icky, but I look forward to future conversations. Please talk to more than your inner circle about this. It's crucial. And it looks like it's just a bunch of other people saying the same thing. You just passed over my comment. Oh, I'm sorry. Was it Oral? Was it this one? Oral-B toothbrushes? Bro, you'll fit right in. You're in the right place. Sorry. I'm trying to read the heartfelt ones. My bad, man. My bad, okay? Unfortunately, yesterday's show broke my ability to enjoy the show. I've unsubbed, canceled my membership. I hope one day you see how wrong you've been in all this. This isn't the first time I've stopped watching Ethan because of his reactionary attitude. I started watching with the hold you down reaction video, and I hope he'll earn another chance from me like he did in the past. Peace and love and goodbye, but hopefully not for forever. Dude, these are people that don't want to fucking leave, man. These are people that are like, dude, I'm doing this against my fucking will. Every part of my body doesn't want to fucking leave. Let me know when you get better, man, because I'm not watching this shit. And he's like, clearly this must be Hassan, man. But this is actively why I say to people, if you see me cover something in a way that's irresponsible, or you feel like I've done something wrong, or I've used language that's piss poor in some regard or another, please let me know. If I don't read it because chat's moving too fast or because we're already in the middle of a conversation, I don't want to get into it, email me, DM me. I want to know if I'm fucking up. I don't want to become this, someone who has multiple fans messaging them, multiple community members saying, hey, you need to stop, and refusing to listen. Denim doesn't read my messages. Oh yeah, well I read that one. Good for those people taking a stand though. I mean, yeah, you should ask for more from, I think also if you give someone money on the internet, I think you're allowed to request a little bit of reflection from that creator. Okay? I don't think you're entitled to anything, but I think you're allowed to say that. Okay? I think you're allowed to. I was H3 fan for a long time, subreddit just fueling his hate, becoming even more infiltrated. I saw a Jewish pro-Palestine person a month ago say their thoughts and the post got removed. Hate post stay. Yeah. Yeah. Can I send links in chat? You guys can send links in chat, by the way. I just, the bot auto times out people, but I'll still see the message. It's just to stop people from spamming messages or spamming links. All right, I think this is, did I read this one? I'm a diehard H3 fan. Yesterday's video needs to be discussed. I felt that Ethan turning off comments is the same shit that KSI was doing to escape the bad criticism. I don't think the negative reaction to yesterday's video has anything to do with toxic fans invading the chat and has more to do with Ethan not having any room for actual discussion on the subject. And the final one here. I'm shocked to see your lower anterior gums are red as hell. I didn't expect you to have gingivitis. There's definitely some recession going on. get into your dentist. Get into your dentist. Flushed. Get your cleaning by your hygienist and see a periodontist. It's hilarious to hear them say dentists don't know anything about gums. Switch to a Sonicare, but you need to learn how to brush properly. Love is correct. Angle to gums. This one is just about... This one's just about the dentistry. Oh, God. Christ. Excuse me. This is so cool. Thank you for posting this, Blight. Algerian delegation chants free Palestine at the UN and everybody follows them. That's cool, dude. As a daughter of a dentist, your gums are almost as important, or almost more important than your actual teeth for many issues at least. Don't worry, dude. They're learning the tech to regrow teeth. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to keep smearing my tooth blood on the wall. Like my hero. It like grossed me out a little. I'll never say that again. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. This is the last thing, and then I want to see the... a brief, like, I want to go to his subreddit, or sorry, his Instagram, and then I want to watch a little bit of the Hassan stuff, Hassan coverage, and then I want to move on because I actually have to dip in like 30 minutes. I can stay longer, but I'd like to finish up in 30 minutes because I have some important work to get to. I'm doing my Halloween costume. Canceling my membership with H3 last year when Ethan called into Hassan's stream, said a lot of the same shit he's been saying now, and then would plug Teddy Fresh when Hassan would get up to go to the bathroom. Oh, dude, no class. What the fuck? All right, sorry. Let's watch this. Ethan confirms their failed plan of making a snark subreddit. Uh-oh.
And then, by the way, we tried to make a page that was, dude, there's something going on at Reddit. So we made a page called Snark.
Oh, that's funny.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
And every time it gets immediately banned.
What?
Every time. Banned. Twice. We get it. It starts getting traction. It's super fun. Everyone's enjoying it. Banned.
Why?
Because there's an admin at Reddit who's monitoring everything we do. And
who's not a fan,
talking about H3 Snark, they closed the subreddit. There's the only explanation. That is literally...
God, it's a conspiracy. This is the only explanation. Dude, this has the same vibe as I'm finding it. Wait. Sorry, I got distracted. The Tim Pool clip. Wait.
That I'm about to be 34 and I have no family because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
Yeah.
It's definitely not that people don't give a fuck about the snark Reddit. It must be that I'm being taken down by the dark evil forces of Reddit. Famously known for being very pro-Palestine.
Somebody's looking out for him for sure.
Which is really sick. It's sick that...
But it's not like every company has fucked up employees, so there's some fucking psycho working there that, no one's aware of who's doing this on their own.
Yeah, but like
it's not
trying
that
to write
outlandish.
Yeah. It's not, but like it's just, I don't know. Reddit is fucked up.
When will the anti-Semitism end? When will it end? When will justice be brought? Christ, dude. Oh my God, dude. Okay, let's go to his Instagram story, shall we? Excellent. All right, let's go. I haven't actually checked this yet because I don't really go on Instagram. Going live for members, okay. Twilight movies, okay, and then this is, I think, when it starts. This clip, we saw this already, but
please don't get mad at me for asking. I'll only ask this once because my last 2 attempts got canned. I don't know how the chat moderation works. How was the Yemeni kid not connected to the Houthis, and does it even matter if he was? Not only does it not matter to me if he was or not, it would obviously change the dynamic of the interview if he was, but he is not. They turned Galaxy into a fucking tourist destination. Are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean? Excuse me. Of course I'm about to have a... I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism.
I can't believe he's just choosing to believe that some things aren't jokes. That he understands what a joke is when he's making it, but never when somebody else is making it. Hassan has actively, like, talked about... Or so not actively, but he's... on numerous occasions talked about how he's not a fucking journalist because actual journalists go and do the hard work. And he relies on actual journalists that go and do real journalism and report on stories to be able to do what he does. It's also disrespectful, in my opinion, to be a streamer. Unless you are actually like a journalist as a streamer, it's disrespectful to call yourself, like I would think that I was being disrespectful to actual journalists if I called myself one. And from my understanding, Hassan feels the same way. To see something where he's obviously being sarcastic, where he said multiple times any of this shit, it's crazy, dude. It's fucking insane. Euphoric, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the tier 1. This is my burner phone. Thank you for the 8 months. Also, this is even before he interviewed him and found out he wasn't a Houthi. Yeah. Also, fun fact, the U.S. didn't announce they were redesignated the Houthis as terrorists until the day after Hassan's interview. So. Also, Ethan Klein keeps saying that the kid has to be a Houthi because he's got an AK-47. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. It's really fucking stupid. You see the part where AB starts trying to defend Hassan? Yeah. But he's not allowed to speak, okay? It's Ethan Klein's show, not the AB show. Besides, everybody knows Ethan Klein's life is way harder than AB's. Anyways, I'm getting toothbrush ads. Denims, I'm in the ads right now. I just got 2 Oral-B Sonic Care toothbrushes. Gum check in chat. Gum check? Dude, I'm kind of getting nervous about my gums. I gotta go brush my teeth after this. I'm like, I'm worried about my teeth, man. They're listening. All right, first, Sneeko was unbanned, and now Fresh and Fit. It seems intentional, like they're unbanning all their biggest anti-Semitic streamers while simultaneously allowing terrorist propaganda. What the fuck is happening over there? I mean, I don't understand why Fresh and Fit, I'm not going to lie, is unbanned, or why Sneeko is unbanned. I don't think that this is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. I think that Twitch recognizes that in order to compete with YouTube, it has to allow insane people to some degree. Because a lot of YouTube and a lot of the decisions made at YouTube are just like any other corporations based around money and clicks and views. And the more videos you get that get negative traction, the better for the platform. I wouldn't be surprised if Twitch is holding the same opinion or the same view. And then they give people the 2-week timeout, slap on the wrist. Because, you know, the ratings, bro. Also, if he's upset if he's upset at Twitch for these unbans, why is he still doing reruns of his past shows on Twitch 24/7? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, reruns are now not allowed on Twitch anymore. Also, no one tell him which community has been vocal against those bans. Hey, are you suggesting that leftists think that these guys should be banned? You've got to be lying. You're clearly a liar. No, everybody knows that Hamas Abi fans love anti-Semitism. It's true. Ethan Klein told me so. Oh, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you for the gift. All right. Let's keep going. Reruns not being allowed on Twitch is anti-Semitic. Ethan, probably. Okay, and then that's it. That was everything that he posted on his story. And I guess that was like yesterday was the straw that broke the camel's back, because I think Hassan, rightfully so, I think has been like avoiding talking about it, because it's just like, I would imagine if I was Hassan, I would be like depressed about it. I'd be like, damn, man, I really like told my whole audience that you were savable and that you were cool, and I've spent so much time defending you and trying to get people to like you, and then you're just gonna like burn me and say that I'm a fucking terrorist sympathizer. Okay, man. I know it's an outdated term, but I think Ethan is unironically being hysterical. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When did Ethan's anti-Hassan Instagram posting start? After North Star Radio made his video on why he thinks Leftovers ended. I think that video broke Ethan Klein, and then he started losing it.
On people, regulars as we call them, my neighbors, people who complained about like noise.
I think it's also sad because Hassan has been trying to do his best to advocate for free Palestine. Now he has to split his focus on this dumb drama. He don't want to talk about it, but he keeps getting asked about the Yemeni kid and he found the broken journalist. Yeah, please. I just want to say really quickly, okay, guys, anyone here who's having fun and enjoying watching the Ethan Klein meltdown and shit show, all right? Or at the very least, even just like mourning it because you used to be a fan. Don't go to Hassan's chat and like bother him about this, okay? If a streamer is choosing not to talk about something, it's because they don't want to talk about it, because they don't want to waste their energy or time on it. Or because it's fucking depressing. It's like your friend who you've tried so... Imagine being in like Hassan's position in this instance, right? Your friend who you've tried so hard to defend, and you've tried so hard to help, and you've tried so hard to like show them why people are upset. And then they just go ahead and say, honestly, you defend terrorists, and I'm surprised Twitch allows you to be unbanned. And then a bunch of people come in your chat and say like, hey. Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about this? Don't do that. Don't do that. If someone's covering it, yeah, fucking go crazy. Have fun. But like if someone is choosing not to cover it, they're choosing not to cover it because it's fucking depressing and they don't want to. So don't tap the glass on that front. I don't want anyone to see me doing this and taking joy and pleasure out of this. And assume that other people maybe want to cover this stuff, right? Is he even streaming today? His computer literally committed seppuku last night. It's because he covered the Ethan Klein stuff. His computer was like, I can't take it anymore. Fucking put me out of my misery. Cracky, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Thanks. Also, it's such a it's turning such a genuinely horrible thing, Gaza genocide, into online drama. Yep. Even if it has important topics of discussion, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Yep. Steal lives. All right.
And stuff like those types of people. When I've done that, I leave no trace. I wouldn't be streaming it every day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? If you were doing that, you would be collaborating with the Bold Guy, their greatest enemy.
Who's the Bold Guy? Oh, the Bald Guy?
No, the Bold Guy. The Bold Guy. Oh my God. we may have to watch
Sorry,
him.
really
He's-
quickly. I saw this clip while we're watching this. I saw this clip. I think he might have deleted this Instagram story, by the way.
It's like,
this was from this morning. This was from like an hour ago, which is weird because when I went to his story, it wasn't there. So he might have removed it. I think he might have actually. The context was wrong. He doesn't want that smoke. Sorry. I'm following e-girls. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, okay? All right. Yes, I support women. All right? Okay? What about it? Caught. This is how Asmongold felt. Fuck. Just play it off like nothing happened. No. So anyways, that's not it. That's not what I was looking for. I was just looking for the I wasn't looking for that. Okay. Anyway, so there was this clip that was on his Instagram story at one point, which this was yesterday. I think this was yesterday. So I think it actually just got taken down. He didn't delete.
oh, you want to make it so Israel isn't a Jewish homeland? Where is my wife who lives with me in Beverly Hills in California? Where's she gonna go? In the garbage? In the toilet? Do you just want to kill her?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's gonna go where she is now, which is not Israel.
Yeah, this is
like, oh, you want to make it so Israel isn't a Jew.
Which I just have to say, this is clearly one of those evil Jewish people, the bad ones. You can tell because he's being mean to the good Jewish people, Ethan Klein. Sweeps, thank you for the 22 months. Oh my God. Ethan Klein posted on this saying, this is actually vile, embarrassing trash. My wife is an American citizen. I'm not worried about her. 80% of Israelis were born there and literally have nowhere to go. You better figure that out if you actually want peace instead of telling them to just go somewhere else. My brother in Christ, dude, how dare you bring up not being able to go somewhere else when Gaza literally doesn't have a fucking airport and checkpoints are literally closed? That's fucking crazy to me, dude. Okay, anyways. Also, yeah, you don't really want that Felix smoke, I'm gonna be real. Okay, so then they bring up this.
Any Jews good at law stuff anymore? Like, what the fuck? I shouldn't say that, especially today.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, how the fuck do you... Oh, yeah, when fucking... Who was the guy who interviewed Bin Laden in the late 90s? Mike Wallace? Or some fucking guy? Some 60 Minutes
Also,
guy.
the best part about it was that Felix wasn't even talking about Hila. Wait, really? That's insane. Oh my God, dude. That is the pure victim mentality. Mwah.
Guy. Yeah,
No
after
words.
that, CBS
No
was on
words.
the hook for 9/11. You know?
If that's true,
Come on.
Yeah, but the thing that I was going to say that's like crazy is that because everyone is online all the fucking time, you literally have a dude
Oh,
who's
thank you for the
19
46
fucking
months.
years old, okay, living in Yemen.
I don't know if that's true. No, he was. Oh, okay. Well, if he was, it was really funny. And if he wasn't, it's still really funny. Baloney Tony, think of it the 34 months.
One of the poorest, if not literally the poorest country on the planet that withstood a genocide that American munitions caused by way of the UAE and Saudi Arabia not that long ago, okay? And me humanizing the victim of said genocide is actually, or giving them like a normal interview at a time when everyone is like screaming bloody murder about killing everyone in the region. This is like, it's a wild thing to have that dude see this statement from Ethan. I know, you know, an adult man. I know you guys don't like me talking about Hassan, and all I appreciate that there's a lot of crossover. I'm grateful for those of you that are able to watch us both. It's impossible for me to ignore that the majority of these people are coming from his community. It's something that he and his audience refuse to reckon with. Hassan's whitewashing of that Houthi kid who said he wants to spear all Zionists to death was frankly disgusting. I don't give a fuck that he's seen an episode of One Piece. I'd like to know why he's hanging out with a boat captain of a Chinese cargo vessel, aka a hostage.
Oh, he was furious when he was writing that. This makes no sense.
And as more info has come out about this kid being a terrorist affiliate and being anti-Semitic, lots more examples. Hassan has refused to disavow him. The opposite, actually. He continues to prop him up. Rashid Al-Haddad responds to this from Yemen. I did not mean the Jews, but the Zionists. Do not confuse everyone. I respect every Muslim Jew who stands for the truth.
That's
and I will
awesome.
do everything I can to protect him. I think he meant Muslim or Jew.
Yeah. But yeah, like
this dude learned English from literally like reading Twitter. Okay.
Yeah. Learned English from reading Twitter while like Saudis were fucking triple tapping funerals for like he's 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
That's about for yeah, like
this sorry, ESL problems. Yeah.
Nearly half his life, Yemen was just probably the most horrific like aerial bombardment campaign, at least one of them in the region at the time.
Also, on the topic of interviewing this kid who literally said, I don't mean Jews, I mean Zionists. That's what I mean. Besides showing the Norm Finkelstein clip where he talks about how, basically perfect victims and all that other stuff. Maybe we can watch it again for people who didn't get a chance to see it. It's bad when like even the fucking Majority Report people are like defending it's bad. You should know that you're on the wrong side, Ethan, when even the people at the Majority Report, your friends, are disagreeing with you. Hassan watches it on his stream. Does he actually? Wait. I don't know when he does, so I'll just play it right now. And if he watches it again, we'll just.
Frog says, FYI, Hassan has been doing worse than Apologia for groups like Hezbollah and Houthis in his reaction to Zionism. I mean, I don't know what he said.
Did Majority Report gang talk about Ethan Klein's fallout? No. They're just talking about this, which they're only talking about Hassan. They're not talking about Ethan Klein at all. They have people in their chat saying, "Oh, Hassan is doing terrorism. He's doing terrorism denial. He's defending terrorism." That's all that's the only context that they're getting.
Bullprog says, FYI, Hassan has been doing worse than Apologia for groups like Hezbollah and Houthis in his reaction to Zionism. I mean, I don't know what he said, but I really don't care. To be honest, I find the like safe, cozy, rich white people in America picking apart the ideology of resistance groups.
Yeah.
There's nothing to me that makes me want to like scream more. It's the height of privilege, and it's just such Western chauvinism. So I support Hassan 100%. I think it's great that he had that Houthi kid on back in the day, and we should be understanding more why Houthis, Hezbollah, all of these folks are resisting.
Yes,
and honestly, I'm like, that's what Klein is like. What he was saying there too, Ezra Klein. Like this just like reflexive characterization of Palestinians or Arabs as just savages is disgusting. And it's widespread and shared on the Democratic and Republican side. And liberal Zionists are going to have to confront their own racism. They're unwilling to. You saw that in the Ezra Klein clip. But these are resistance groups. And I
fucking love Emma, dude. If Emma has 1 million fans, I am one of them. If Emma has 1,000 fans, I am one of them. If Emma has 1 fan, it is me. If Emma has no fans, know that I have died.
Picking apart what they believe. I mean, it's just, it's
As if it hasn't been massively influenced by the colonial,
Yes.
divide and
We
conquer
propped
strategy.
up religious fundamentalist groups in the region for that very reason, so it could make it easier for people. And look, I love Bullprog. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on you, but it's just like
But this is frustrating. And
I disagree with the criticism of Hassan very strongly on
and the
this.
smearing of people on this front as
Yeah.
terrorist sympathetic as opposed to just fucking mature. I'm sorry. I love Bullpuck too, but like this sort of thing that's going around, especially when fucking supporters of Israel want to talk about policing other people's ideology, nah, fuck off.
Yeah.
I also think mainstream media has been interviewing literal like terrorist groups for decades because that's what journalism is. You talk to all sides to understand the complete story, and then you report it. It doesn't mean you're supportive of everything or anything they do, but that's what you do. And I mean, the only thing I think of is that Hassan interviewed that young Houthi guy.
I
That's
don't
all.
think he was technically even Houthi, but like young Yemeni pirate sort of chap. And people want him, I think because of the Asman Gold thing, which I also didn't follow, people thought, well, what?
I'm sorry. Asman Gold. I'm calling him Asman. I love it. Love it. Mwah. Ass man. Excuse you? He's a boob man. The disrespect around here is unbelievable.
It doesn't mean you're supportive of everything or anything they do, but that's what you do. And I mean, the only thing I think of is
He's using his Muslim name.
Hassan interviewed that young Houthi guy.
I
That's
don't
all.
think he was technically even Houthi, but like young Yemeni pirate sort of chap. And people want him, I think because of the Asman Gold thing, which I also didn't follow, people thought, well, let's go back and ban Hassan for that. And I would just say, whoever's at Twitch making that decision not to take action against Hassan, great job. A real, like that's how it should be worked, is the employees that know better and make these decisions. But yeah, it's horrible.
I also just think just one last thing, that a lot of times this position that it's apologia is just, for me, an example of how the West is always looking to justify its own atrocities, because what it's oftentimes called apologia are just like the cause and effect of why things happened, like the actual context for why these groups exist and what they're doing, and not a justification for that, but it's automatically taken as a justification for it, because when you provide context for, like when this kind of context is
It's also, I mean, to build on this statement really quickly, when Ethan Klein was talking about the Houthis, he literally said, look, here they are taking hostages and taking over different boats. And here they are doing terrorist things. Here they are. Oh, Lana, hi. Thank you for the tier 1. Here they are just being terrorists because who knows why they're doing it? Who knows why they would ever do such terrorist things? Ethan Klein, of course, then follows it up with, they're doing it because they're evil. These Houthis, they're doing what they're doing and they're engaging this pirate behavior because they're evil. That's why they're doing it. Which is just like, you're so fucking stupid to actually think that. I'm sorry, dude. That's not how the world works. People aren't actually like pure evil. People usually have motivations for why they do bad things. Okay? And we should want to understand that to cause or to stop it from happening. We should want to understand the cause of why people do what they do so we can stop it from happening. VCBK, thank you so much for the prime. So it's actually a very childish view. It is an absolutely childish view. It's the type of people that are like, the terrorists hate us because they hate our freedoms. It's like, you're so fucking stupid, dude. If you think it's that cut and dry, like, I have a bridge to fucking sell you, man. Christ. Insanity. It's just insanity. Their evil leads to its cultural, leads to its genetic. I mean, we're not even going to go through that fucking dialogue, but yes. Correct. You mean life isn't a Marvel movie? What? No way. Well, I have a bridge that says analysis is justification. Also, the belief in good and evil is a fundamental liberal idea, IMO, devoid of historical analysis in many material contexts. I mean, these are the same people who are like, I'm sorry, but it's literally just black culture just makes them violent. That's how it is. I'm not racist. I'm just saying it how it is. It's like, hear me out. Maybe crazy idea. When you impoverish a group of people, redline their district, prevent them from getting jobs, prevent them from getting loans for homes, when you consistently underfund their schools and overpolice their neighborhoods, and then absolutely gut any social programs that might help, people tend to do crime to make ends meet because they need food, shelter, and water to survive. And hear me out, crazy idea. If we just gave people the things that they needed, they wouldn't do bad things. Crazy, I know, insane. But usually people don't just like do armed robbery for fun. Just crazy idea. Crazy, I know. What is that, communism? Material conditions, what? No, that's not true. That doesn't line up with my eugenics. I mean, claims about how everything is anti-Semitic against me, okay? It's just fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. If you genuinely have no understanding of why the Houthi pirates or whatever are committing the crimes that they're committing, maybe you should do a little bit more analysis, and maybe you should be the person listening to these fucking interviews. Since you clearly don't understand. If you unironically ever look at a group of people and think, oh, they're being evil just because they're evil, you don't understand. You literally don't understand what's happening, and you should spend more time trying to understand it. Because even like people like Elon Musk or like Jeff Bezos,
quick,
do they do evil
Someone
shit?
grab me an ice pick. The woman on screen has gone hysterical. She's talking nonsense. We must perform a lobotomy.
Honestly, I kind of need a lobotomy after watching all this shit. Even like people like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or whatever, right? Yeah, you can be simple and say like, oh, they're doing it because they're evil. But no, they're doing it because they love money more than anything else, more than human lives. And the way they see it is, if they're allowed to continue to do crimes, and as long as the punishment is just a small little fine for them, they're down to do it. And maybe instead of just, hey, they're evil, we should do something to stop them from accumulating insane amounts of wealth. If we know why they're going to do the thing they're going to do, to collect and gather as much wealth as possible like they're fucking dragons, how about we work towards stopping that? How about we make it so that if you have over $100 million, adjusted with inflation over time, you get fined at or you get taxed at 90%. Any additional income past $100 million in wealth, you get a 90% tax on all of that shit. Wow, what a notion. Whoa. What are you, communistic, dude? It's just very silly. It's frustrating because the kid they're constantly attacking isn't even a Houthi. It's like a continuous cycle of misplaced finger pointing. He said the Houthis steal from mainly African ships and they don't target Israel. Is that true at all? So I'm not knowledgeable on this. I mean, from my understanding, they generally don't target Israeli ships. Also, I have a friend that says they were just attacking ships before Gaza and now they're just taking advantage of it as an excuse to attack ships. I mean, it's almost like things were happening before October 7th. And October 7th is kind of exacerbating all the issues in the area, right? What is this? What is this, Naomi? If Marvel movies were realistic.
Mr. President, what is it? Green Goblin is attacking New York City. What? He's causing mass destruction right now. Should we alert Spider-Man?
No! Send $50 billion to Israel right now!
Mr. President, what is it? Green Goblin is attacking New York City.
What?
He's causing mass destruction right now. Should we alert Spider-Man?
No! Send $50 billion to Israel right now!
Yeah. Another the Patrick meme. Another 20 trillion to Israel. Kids are gonna be okay. Tax the rich. How are they gonna afford their $100 million yachts? You're right. I changed my mind. Fundamental attribution error. We do things because of contextual reasons. They do things because of their inherent nature. Yep. Ethan's always been emotional, but it never really mattered prior because he's never really been into politics. And moment he entered political commentary realm, it was over. He's super thin-skinned, always has been. Yep. Totally agree. The thing that's frustrating is it's just like there's a lot of people like Asmongold, like Ethan Klein, who they see other people talking about politics and they assume, oh, well, they didn't do any research on any of the things that they talked about. They are not careful with their words. They probably just say whatever they want to say. I can do that. And then they do it and they're like, why is everyone so mad at me? It must be anti-Semitism. It's like, okay, man. All right, man. For sure, man. For sure. Yeah. And I'm going to watch like Hikaru play chess and then I'm going to go play chess and be like, unbelievable. I'm losing my games. This is a conspiracy, obviously. Did you guys know chess.com is Islamophobic? Yeah. They're making me make bad moves. It's fucking stupid. It is so dumb. Oh my God. Oh. And Coletti, thank you so much for the 14 months. Moonies, thank you so much for the Prime. Thank you. They believe Hassan when he calls himself a dumb himbo. I mean, it's straight up like some Socrates shit, right? Like, you have to be okay with knowing that you're going to get stuff wrong and that you're not going to be right all the time, and that's okay. I mean, I talk about it all the time. I am sometimes wrong. I know, shocking. I know. Yeah. But there's this cool thing called being normal. And when you find out you're wrong, you listen to the people who are claiming that you're wrong and you look at their sources and then you change your mind. And you say, oh, I didn't know that information. Thank you for posting it. Cool. That's it. It's actually really cool. You can actually just be normal, actually. I know. Right? That's crazy. They just don't ever have to feel the consequence of politics, so it's just cultural commentary to them where their feelings and opinions inherently matter more than facts. Yeah. And I've said it before, but like also I think a big part of it is like people's audiences embolden them. And I think this happens a lot more with like well-off men online. I think it's more likely to happen to them. But like IDEPS has talked about this a little bit, that before he made his shift to the left and before he publicly explained like why he stopped making content and like why he had to take a step away from all the shit that he was doing, he talked about how he thought he was right because he had millions of people constantly watching his videos telling him he's based. And when you have that, it like breaks your brain a little because you're like, well, how can I be wrong when all these people think I'm based? And if that happens long enough, you just get more and more and more extreme. And you're not willing to, and then you become less and less likely to listen to criticism. And I think that's what happens to, or what has happened right now and what is happening right now with Ethan Klein. And I think it's what happened with Asmongold, where it's like, oh, I'm just becoming more and more like hateful and more of an asshole. Huh. That's actually, this sucks. I wish Ethan would just stop making this content. What's the point if you're just yelling at old friends of yours? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. This guy responded to Ethan Klein in like a video. Wait, I want to see this.
شوف هذا التغريدة. هذا بالإنجليزي. شوف ماذا قال. عشان إحنا واقفين مع الأطفال.
Sorry, let me read the Oh, thank you, Griff Dog. Classic. You know what this is, guys? This is anti-Semitism. I was listening to this guy speaking Arabic and understanding, and I forgot that not everyone speaks Arabic. Classic anti-Semitism. What is this picture? Dude, this reminds me of like the photos that people make of JD Vance. Have you guys seen what I'm talking about? I think that's a real picture. I can't tell if this is the real one or the Photoshop one. But the JD Vance photo. Welcome back. You have unsaved changes. Continue editing. Sorry. Okay. All right. Back to the... Oh my God, we didn't finish this majority report clip. Sorry. I'm going to stop sun locking, but let's just watch this. He says, check out this tweet. This is in English. See what he said. And then he posts the, I guess, like, translation in Arabic. He says, because we're standing with the children, with Palestinian children, that means that we're terrorists. And because Hassan did the American interview with me, this person who posted this tweet, this child came from the Stone Age. And I'm going to tell you, damn you. Damn, dude. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. It hit even harder in Arabic. It hit even harder in Arabic. I'm not going to lie. Can you post a link to this? Of course. Yeah. Drag his ass. طفل. He put some emphasis on that. Oh my God. طفل is like a child. This fucking child from the fucking Stone Age has the audacity to post this stupid shit is basically the vibe. Shit, dude, this is so funny, dude. This is so funny. Oh God. Look, in before Ethan Klein, I'm literally the victim of a terrorist hate crime against Jewish people. Look at this violence. Give it like 5 minutes, since the guy is terminally online and is okay with foregoing sleep to make sure he catches every post about him every second of every day. Okay, on the topic of that Yemeni kid, let's finish up this majority report clip, basically just talking about how people's material conditions are important, and you can't just look at what people say and make whatever extrapolations you want to make. You have to recognize that people exist in a society, and you didn't just fall out of a fucking coconut tree. So yeah, I wanted to watch this. And again, analysis is not justification.
I also just think just one last thing, that a lot of times this position that it's apologia is just, for me, an example of how the West is always looking to justify its own atrocities, because what it's oftentimes called apologia are just like the cause and effect of why things happened, like the actual context for why these groups exist and what they're doing, and not a justification for that, but it's automatically taken as a justification for it, because when you provide context for, like, when this kind of context is provided for Western atrocities, like I said earlier, it's usually meant to absolve them of it. It's usually meant to go like, oh, you see, well, yeah, we killed all of the Native Americans here, you know, using smallpox blankets, but it was for X, Y, and Z reason, to establish like a Western democracy, for, you know, to be a shining city on a hill. And I won't say it's good, but I'll just provide that context and let you determine whether or not you think it's good or not, but with a strong hint that it is. And so when you provide context for, you know, why people don't like the West, why people might do 9/11, why people might do an October 7th, what are the actual historical and material conditions that led to these things, people see it also like, oh, you're in favor of it. Because when they do it about the U.S., even if they say sometimes ostensibly they're not, they are they are trying to justify what the U.S. is. They are trying to justify what Israel is doing. And so, you know, they assume everyone is doing that back to them. It's just projection.
Right. 100%.
And I think one of the most important things that was said just now is the fact that when you are constantly talking about the bigotry or racism or whatever that is felt or expressed by people under occupation. You are sorry, if you do that and if you bring that up without additional context, you are absolving Israel of its sins. I want to play the Norm Finkelstein clip one more time. Wait, does anyone have it? Because I actually don't have it on hand. Because I want to show it to people, to show someone who actually has studied the conflict, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, for their entire life. He says it a lot better than I can. But the gist being, you can't look at Jews during Nazi Germany and say, can you believe that some of these Jews hate Germans? Were there Germans that tried to help Jewish people escape? Of course. Were there Germans that were complicit with the suffering of Jewish people? Yes, also true. Is it wrong for those Jewish people to hate all Germans? Of course that would be wrong. But isn't it kind of wasted breath and wasted effort and wasted time to talk about that rather than, I don't know, the persecution of these Jewish people by this state? No, what is this? What is this clip you sent? He's gooning the pathway to fascism. Is this actual timestamp or are you trolling me? Who sent this? Rad Skull. I think it was this one. Here it is. Like I said, I think Norm explains it much better than I can.
Part of their charter or some official document of theirs says, curse the Jews.
I don't get hot under the collar about those things. And not because I'm giving people a pass. Israel describes itself as the state of the Jewish people. Right. What do you expect these people to do? Have they ever met a Jew who was nice to them? I doubt it. And I remember my father, for him, my mother, every German was a Nazi. That they didn't meet other Germans. And so the Houthis, all they see of Jews is what Israel is doing to Gaza, Israel is doing to Lebanon, Israel is doing here, Israel is doing there. I can't get excited about that. It's not because I give a pass to anti-Semitism. It's because you have to look at the context. Of course. And I understood where my father's coming from, and I'm not going to hold somebody else to a more stringent standard than I held my own parents.
Part of their...
Obregat, thank you so much for the gift up to Acid Communist. Thank you. Oh, hi, Acid Communist. Welcome. I don't know if you're here or not, but thank you for gifting it to them if they are here. Yeah, it's very infuriating because, like, for you to see someone who was born and raised in this conflict in the Middle East, and first of all, accuse them of things that they say that they are not. Accuse them of anti-Semitism and hating all Jews when they explicitly say, I don't hate all Jews. I hate Zionists. I hate people who think colonial rule is okay, who think putting people in jail to rot and assaulting them and not giving them a fair trial or speedy trial. I think those people, I do fucking hate those people. And yeah, I do think that bad things should happen to those people. I don't hate all Jews. No. So even in this instance where he's not anti-Semitic, it is so reductive and it is so pathetic to look at a conflict where people have had to live in an open-air prison for decades. But God forbid any of them ever have bad thoughts about anyone ever. That would be really bad. That would be really mean. And it's like, dude, if you were there, I promise you, Ethan, if you were a Gazan, you probably would dislike Jewish people. Why? Because all you've known is Jewish people that have persecuted you and killed you and your entire family, or like killed the people around you and injured you, destroyed your home, etc. It's almost like people are not born bigoted. People learn bigotry. And it is not unreasonable at all that these people would end up with these positions. Does that make the positions okay? Of course not. Of course it doesn't make it okay. You know what else happens? You know what else happens by virtue of that being true? It also doesn't make a genocide against them okay for having bad thoughts. Also, it's like getting mad at a Japanese person for hating Americans. And Japanese people don't even hate Americans. They hate the fact that, like, Logan Paul is an American. But if they did, that's a great example. Like, yeah, dude, the US did fucking nuke them twice when it wasn't fucking necessary, dude. Like, come on. Would I hate freed slaves for hating white people and saying, God forbid, the C slur? Of course not. Of course fucking not. Like, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? The Japanese people in Okinawa aren't huge fans of Americans. And honestly, most countries shouldn't be huge fans of America, given what we've done. All right? All right. Oh, thank you, TY Bay. DJ Keto, thank you for the 5 gift subs, by the way. Soap Makes Sud, thank you also for the 5 gift subs. Thank you, guys. That's very generous of you guys. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, so I just, today's my birthday. Happy birthday, Suddenly Sleepy. Someone should gift Suddenly Sleepy known Days Chatter a gift sub. Someone should. Can we get some Feels Birthday Man in chat for anyone else? Technically, with this many based people in here, there should be multiple people's birthday, right? Isn't it like you put like 100 people in a room or something? 2 people will share like a birthday. So theoretically, it could be somebody else's. It was my birthday 6 days ago. Oh, happy birthday, Veggie. Happy birthday. Mine was yesterday. Happy birthday, Mitra. Today's my birthday too. It isn't. Dude, I don't know how to say this, okay, in clearer words, but these are my favorite chatters. And if you do this, I love you, okay? All right? I need more of you, okay? I need you. All right? I need you. Hapahan, thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Mayor Cat. Yes. Yes, Mayor Cat. Mayor Cat, you have to condemn Hamas. Stop. Nice try, Fed. I'm not telling you when my birthday is. Darn it. Almost got it. How about your mother's maiden name? Is that okay? Anyways. Okay, guys. I technically was supposed to head off like an hour ago because I'm doing a little Halloween costume. I'm gonna do a little photo shoot because I think the Halloween costume is a fun one. So makes that. Thank you for the gift subs to Melatonin and Anon. Thank you so much for the 20 gift subs, Anon. Thanks. Mumblecat, that's so sick, by the way. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in with me. That was really cool of you guys to do that. This shit is it's actually so brain rotting. I feel like the Asmongold stuff is kind of fun, but this shit is like low-key a little brain rotting. But thank you guys for coming. For as a thank you, please look at my cat.